beat the Russians in the space race, like to solidify that victory.
Wait, hold on a second.
They already did that.
You
though.
think all of the Apollo missions were fake?
That's
Yeah,
what he
I
said.
think
Even 17.
Wait, I didn't hear it. I'm incredulous.
Man, this is how you get them. And Tom's God.
Well, that's a hell of a lot more, you know.
Can I just get clarification? I didn't hear it.
Then-
I want to
Then
Say
we're
one
gonna
more
need-
time, Ace.
Some of them,
Yes.
but not all of them. That's even dumber.
We're gonna need you to
Say
make a statement,
times.
Ace.
Say it, enunciate, sit up straight, you know, fix your posture, and say it one more time.
What she means to say it with your chest, little ass nigga.
Go on, Ace.
Say it, motherfucker!
He muted. He
You're-
doesn't stand behind it.
you're a bitch. You're a bitch, Squish.
Yeah, you're a pussy, Ace.
Yeah, see,
No, I'm not a pussy. I've been very
No,
clear
you're a
about this.
pussy. What did you say?
I
Say it
didn't hear
again.
Ace, I just didn't hear the claim. I just want to hear
Yeah,
the
I
claim.
said
I wanna
yes. I've said yes multiple times.
To what?
That I think all 6 Apollo missions were faked.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted clarification on your claim. No big deal.
He said it like 4 times, though. He did.
What about the 800?
Like 50 times.
What about the
Listen,
850 pounds of impossible to fake lunar samples that were brought back? Or how about
They
the
were
retro
collected. They were
reflector?
collected by Werner von Braun in fucking Antarctica.
No, they never collected 800 pounds on.
They were
Antarctica.
collected in Antarctica. The majority of them.
No, they weren't.
No,
No, they
it
weren't.
wasn't.
And you know why? Because
Shouldn't I receive a discount?
if that's exposed to the elements on Earth, right?
Yeah,
Well,
and
the
do you know
samples
that
that were brought
NASA,
back,
NASA also
the
has the
samples that-
ceramics? Do you know that NASA also has a ceramics lab that they can do sandblasting with?
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
we've
The
got
traces he's insinuating, I assume.
And plus, look, I don't doubt that probes have been sent to the moon, right? I'm pretty sure that probes have been sent to the moon
So
to collect
why do you doubt
collect
the other
regolith. I just think it's very unlikely that very vulnerable, squishy meat bags were flown to the moon.
Why?
It's always an
you-
argument from
Just
incredulity.
why?
Humans are very sensitive to the environment. No, actually, it's
What
not an
troll?
argument from incredulity. No, look, okay. Let me post this.
What
this
makes you
fucking
think
GIF.
we
Yeah,
didn't
let him
post
post
go?
his conspiracy
One more
theory
time.
source, guys.
Here you
Calm
go.
down.
Please.
Check this out.
Make
Look
an
at main
argument
chat.
about
Ooh, nobody cares about your GIF or the images. Can you post
So
a
those are
source?
official. Those
I
are
like-
official
I
NASA
don't.
photos.
Nobody cares about your GIF.
Those
Listen,
are
he's
official
answering your
NASA
fucking
photos.
question about why he doesn't
Shush.
believe it's real. Just let him answer.
Ace, I see your GIF. What about it?
What pops out at you in that GIF?
Everything. It's moving.
I think
Well,
he's talking
in
about the background.
particular, do you understand what parallax is?
who made that GIF?
Aulus.
Just get
What's
to the
that
point,
called?
Ace.
The background
okay,
is not moving.
Jesus, shut up!
No, the background. Actually, no. So that mountain in the background is supposedly 20 kilometers away. And yet it moves like that. And then also, if you see, there's a line across the screen, the image, and there's it seems like it's basically the stage floor running up to a backdrop. There's like this
What?
clear
Ace.
line.
I see what
Oh
he's
my
saying. I'm
God.
not saying
Why
it's
do
correct,
you
that's
think-
what he's saying.
Why do you think we didn't go to the moon, though?
Because, like I said, I think that this kind of mission would be extremely dangerous, and it would be a horrible PR disaster if you had astronauts die live on TV.
But
We
why do
had
you think we
astronauts
didn't?
die.
But why do you think we didn't go to the moon?
We have had astronauts.
We had him
live
die
on
in the
TV.
fucking rocket, you dumb
Yeah,
fuck.
How do you
Gus
explain
Grissom.
Apollo
Gus
13?
Grissom was murdered by NASA.
What?
This is
We're talking
we-
about
We
Come on,
have the
there's way too much
Challenger
stuff.
mission.
I'm not
So-
talking about.
So they don't want to be
Jesus
bad
fuck.
PR disaster. Let's just point this out real quick. They don't want a bad PR disaster by having astronauts die.
Doesn't
They
matter.
purposely killed a group of astronauts on live television.
What did
No,
any
they
of this
didn't.
have to do
So
with
they
it?
both don't want it and want it.
Well, in
Look,
fairness,
don't
Jovan,
you
he
think?
didn't say
Look,
that
the Challenger missions were all low Earth orbit missions.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He didn't say that it was fake,
But-
so that's kind of irrelevant.
He
But
Yeah, I'm saying
said
that
the
the moon
explosion.
missions were fake.
Yeah, he said Apollo.
Why?
Challenger was not an Apollo mission. You understand?
Wait, it
Yeah,
doesn't
Stanley-
matter if it's an Apollo mission. He
Jesus
said that
fuck.
NASA doesn't want to show astronauts dying on Earth or dying in their
back in the
missions.
On live
1960s.
But
TV.
we've
That's a
already,
very
but we've
Doesn't
already
matter.
had astronauts. Listen, but
Back
we
in the-
have
Doesn't
had
matter,
astronauts
though.
die on
He's not.
live.
It's not
But
just
what
that
he's
we
saying
have. He's
is
saying they
back in-
purposely did it.
Wait.
It
Claire,
doesn't
shut the fuck up. I'm
matter.
trying to
Hold
hear
on, everyone.
Jovan.
Hold
What
on.
did you
Challenger
say?
low Earth flight would be an accident and
Claire,
therefore not in their control.
nobody cares what you're
Claire.
saying. What did you say, Jovan?
I've said it many times at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't
Look,
hear you.
and look,
People are
back in the
Stanley
1960s,
Kubrick
back in
direct
the
all
1960s,
Apollo
Squishy-
landing films.
So look, Squishy, back in the 1960s, there were no astronauts that had died on live TV yet.
But you just said NASA doesn't want to show astronauts dying on live
Yeah,
TV.
that was
But,
the motivation back in the 1960s.
Again,
What?
Squishy, if NASA wouldn't fake
Wait,
deaths,
Claire, do you think
that
that
has
all the
no
Apollo missions are
relation
fake too?
to- No, I don't have a feeling about whether all the Apollo missions are fake. I'm just trying to help you get to the
Okay.
bottom of
Dumb.
Ace's fucking opinion without you all arguing over and talking over.
You're all
Now, what I was about
dumb.
to say is it has no bearing whether or not they don't want to show astronauts dying on TV as to their motivation to fake the Apollo.
JJ is correct. We don't
Regardless
need to
of
get
them
We don't give a
into
shit
showing
about
Challenger,
any
we don't-
motivation.
Who cares?
We
I
don't
don't
need
give
to
a
get
fuck
into
about
Challenger was an
anybody's
accident, and
motivation.
therefore
Claire,
not
shut the
under their
fuck
control.
up.
So
Shut
it's
the fuck
irrelevant.
up,
It's not a
Claire.
relevant point.
Shut the
Cares
fuck up.
about what
We
you
don't need to
say.
get into the minutia of these dumbass claims. Go ahead, JJ.
I'm just waiting for Ace. Why do you think?
I'm steel manning for Ace because he's not.
Oh, thanks,
my
Claire.
God.
Stop.
Ace, what or not Ace? JJ, what are you asking? Why do you think?
Why do you think we didn't go to the moon, Ace? Because you got a gift? The
I
fuck
think
is
that's
that?
Because you got
That's
Because-
one
Because nobody
piece of
wants
evidence.
astronauts dying? That's why you think we didn't go to the moon? None of this makes any fucking sense, Ace. Why do you think we didn't go to the moon?
JJ, I don't think that there's a single smoking gun. I think it's a cumulative
Yeah, it's
case.
a huge argument. There's tons
Oh
of reasons
my
that people say it.
God. Why
I'm not
is
agreeing
Claire
with them
getting involved?
necessarily. I'm indifferent.
Claire,
but
let
it's mostly
Ace
about
Hey,
talk.
that
Claire.
argument.
I'm just gonna mute.
Why
I'm
you
just gonna
keep
mute
talking
Claire.
every
I'm
time
tired
we
of
ask
this.
Ace?
Let's just talk. Okay, let's just look at one piece of evidence at the time. So, how about this GIF? Could you explain to me why you
cares
would
about a
have those
GIF?
kinds of photographic features in your
Hey,
footage?
stop with the gift.
Hey
dude.
Ace, how about
What?
this? That GIF was manufactured by some idiot on YouTube. How about that?
It
Yeah.
wasn't manufactured by some idiot on YouTube.
Prove
Who
it.
is it? Who is it manufactured by?
By
Prove it,
the
Ace.
Owlis, the people at Owlis.
Then post the proof.
Okay,
now.
one sec.
Post the proof right now.
Yeah, I'll get you that link. One sec.
We'll see if
There's
that ever
actually-
comes.
There's,
I
an
want to see it.
There's actually a 3,000 word article that is associated.
I don't
Post
care
it.
how many words it is.
Post it.
Yeah,
Why?
one
A
sec. Yeah,
3,000
Why
word
didn't-
article.
Look, why
Oh,
didn't
God.
Russia try and show that the moon landing was a hoax? How come they acknowledged it and like had it in their newspapers?
There's been actually Russians that doubt it, even back
Oh,
Who cares? The Russians
Well,
acknowledged it though.
It's, I mean, think about how sketchy the Soviet Union was. If they
Also,
could
it's politically
find a way, if
convenient.
they could find a way to try and undermine, the United
yeah.
States, what better way to do it than to say, look, you guys got Stanley Kubrick to film this moon landing. It's a hoax. And then for some reason you decide to do it like a bunch more times, have a whole bunch of sequels. Look, like all
Like I said,
this
it's also politically convenient for Russia to acknowledge it.
What is?
Oh, what?
It was politically convenient at the time for them to acknowledge it.
No,
What?
it wasn't.
For them to
Not at
lose
all.
the race?
You were just arguing earlier about how there was a huge space race.
It would make Russia
And
look
that's
bad.
the
if they
reason
did.
why it was so important that they try to fake it. Now you're saying that even though there's this huge space race that would cause people to actually fake the moon landing hoax, it actually
Here
wasn't
you
that
go.
big of a deal.
Here's the article.
It was
Yeah,
actually
it
better
is.
off to lose it?
Yeah. So there's the article that accompanies that GIF.
So I
You
don't
can read
feel
it-
like
you
you've
can read it
addressed
at
what
your
I've
leisure.
said.
Did you hear a
No,
word that
no.
Joe
Look,
said?
I'm getting to that. I need to address one claim at a time. I'm only a single man after all. So yeah, the reason why it would be politically convenient for them is because then they could expand their franchise. I mean, there's a lot of tax dollars at stake here for these projects.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, so if the Russians came out, right, and there's actually some evidence of fakery on the Russians' part too on some of their space programs, but let's say the Russians came out, right, and accused America of faking stuff, and then America then counter accused the Russians of faking stuff, right? That would basically be a negative sum game, right? If we were gonna for both
What
players.
are you talking about?
By definition, a negative sum game is that for every move that's made.
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
All players are expected to
who
lose.
are you talking about is like behind this, like who's trying to do this haggling with their franchise and stuff. What the hell are you talking about? The Russians?
No, I'm just saying that there's very good reason to keep the illusion alive because it's very lucrative.
What?
What illusion
For
alive?
who?
For the people.
No,
running
what
the-
illusion? No. 1 second. Answer one question at a time. What illusion?
The illusion that the money that's being taxed from these people is being well spent.
Wait a minute. If they showed that it was a hoax, then they would still have the chance to be the first to go to the moon. So it would actually be good for them to get more money.
I don't think that we have the technology to put men on the moon.
Why not?
Wait. Listen to Joe. Wait, everyone shut the fuck up.
No.
Let Joe go on. He had a.
Have you ever, Joe?
wait,
Joe,
no,
have
no,
you ever?
hold on a
Ace didn't even
second. Hold
understand
on.
the point. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I
Ace,
did
the idea
understand.
Ace, stop.
No.
Ace,
making
don't
a
ever
larger
talk.
point.
Don't ever talk. You stop talking.
Ace,
Let Joe,
remember
let Joe
remember the
respond,
point.
Ace.
All right, let's hear
Remember
it.
the point, Ace. The point is that there's Russia. Russia could have embarrassed America and also could have said, "Hey, we're still in the space race." If they showed that America faked a whole bunch of moon landings, the issue is that if they do that, wouldn't that make it so they would justify spending more money, getting more money from people?
No, because it would end up with them being embarrassed as well.
What?
Wait, what?
How?
You guys need to clear your fucking ears out. There's evidence of Russia faking some of its stuff as well.
Guys just gotta wake up, man.
I fucking pointed this out not only 2 minutes ago, and you guys didn't
Wait,
hear
So
that.
you're saying if they pointed out the lies that the Americans did, the Americans would point back to them and say they were lying about theirs?
Yes.
Wow.
But America
so it's a
did
global
do
conspiracy.
that. Wait a minute,
No.
but that's not true. The United States did call out a few of the satellite launches and one of the manned launches too of Russia. I don't know what you're talking about,
fuck.
Ace.
That's exactly right, Squishy.
So
So
they
then
already did
what
that.
are
So
you
why would they be
talking about?
afraid of
Because it would have made it's the Streisand effect, right? I mean, people
What?
ignored. Or it's not exactly the Streisand effect, but
Is
you guys
Ace
kind of get my
hot?
gist.
I
Ace,
think
you
he's
sound like an
fucked up
idiot,
on
bro.
something.
So
Oh, by the way, Ace, that
You're
link
just
that
so
you sent
dogmatic,
regarding
Ace.
those
It's
gifts
insane.
that hold up, the link that you sent regarding the gifts you sent has 0 references on the bottom. Not a single source.
Yeah, it's so Owless is
because
run
it's
by Jack
independent.
White,
Look, so it's
who
it's
is
independent
just a
research.
lifelong
It
conspiracy.
doesn't matter if it's
I know
independent
Jack White.
research. You
Okay,
still
look,
have
so
references and sources to
look,
your research. What are you
so-
talking about? Unless he
so,
actually
are
went
you
to the moon
gonna-
and took these pictures, or went to
So,
NASA and received these pictures himself and didn't get
These are
them from any
well-known-
other
these are well-known
sources, then
pictures.
there's absolutely no reason for him not to have references or any
Look,
sort of sources
Squishy-
at the end of his article.
Squishy,
I'm not
we
sure
already
you know
know
any
the
of that.
source. We already know the
These
source
are-
now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
these are
source is
well-known
some guy's bullshit, right? He pulled it out
Well,
of
it's
his ass.
Jack White.
The
Ace,
source
Ace, you
these
know
are
what Jack
official
White's
NASA
really
photos.
famous
These are
for, though,
official
right?
These are official NASA photos.
I want to hear
I don't
JJ
know that
say.
though.
How
You know what-
would you?
Ace, you know what
You
Jack
don't
White is
know.
really famous for, right?
The picture
What?
of the moon
Don't
is
do it,
from a
JJ.
satellite that's behind the moon.
Yeah,
Ace,
look, I'm not.
Ace,
I'm
you
not
know what
holding
Jack-
up. I'm not
Don't
holding
do
up.
it, not like
I'm not-
this.
You know what he's
JJ,
mostly famous for, right?
I
Yeah,
want to hear what
JJ,
JJ has to say.
I'm not JJ. I'm not holding up Jack White as like the gospel, right, or anything like that.
You are.
This
Yeah,
is
what-
his
tell
site.
me.
You're pulling the
Wait,
information.
wait,
from,
well,
you
wait.
idiot.
Tell
This
me,
dude's like your
JJ. I
king,
mean,
Gabe.
generally, I'm interested, JJ. What else is he famous for?
I think he's most famous for Badge Man,
Badge Man? What's that?
the Kennedy conspiracy.
Oh yeah, that was his
He
first
found-
thing.
A guy
Well,
with a
I mean-
badge and some shadows in a picture.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
In some
I have my
grains.
doubts. I have my doubts about the Warren Commission as well. So that's
Oh my god.
Yeah, so do I.
Ace.
But He found some just fictional, made-up thing that he elaborated on
Sure, yeah,
from
like I
some
said,
pixels in
I'm
a
not
shadow
Yeah, look,
on
I'm
some
not
grainy
taking this
little
guy's
old
word.
picture.
Look, I'm not taking this guy's word as gospel, right?
It's
I just
his
think
But I
site
want to
they're
go back.
pulling this
But I don't
GIF
even give
from.
a shit about the
look,
gift.
look,
I don't even
think
give a shit
that
about the gift, though,
I
Case.
think
Why
that
do you
that
think we didn't go to the
particular
moon?
look, I think that particular work there that was done by Alice, because I don't think it was Jack White. Yeah, this is by Oleg Olyink, PhD, previous
Whatever.
Department of Physics and
Doesn't
Technology at
matter.
Parallax University in the Ukraine. So this isn't Jack White's work. This is he's just
Oh, fuck.
he's hosting other people's work.
I don't care. Why do you think we didn't go to the moon?
I think that there's a lot of evidence that we didn't go to the moon.
Like what? A gift?
That's one piece of evidence.
But Ace, this GIF is just two snaps from two different pictures that the guy just layered together, and he's got them on a. That's all it is. But
Yeah.
it doesn't
Wait.
show anything.
Oleg Olenek doesn't exist.
Oh shit.
What are you? Well, let's see. Maybe not.
He doesn't exist, Ace.
Well, let's look him up. One sec.
Go ahead.
Let's go one. Well, I was trying to respond to Sutek, so we'll get to that in
Who
just a
doesn't
second.
An
exist?
anonymous
So
alias.
yeah, it could be it could
Who
be an
doesn't
alias.
exist, Squishy?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it's completely
The guy who
irrelevant
made
to
the
the
GIF, I'm
actual
guessing?
argument. So could we actually argue the physical evidence here rather than
What evidence? A GIF that somebody made in their basement?
It's not just that.
The guy's-
Let's focus on that one GIF just for right now.
This GIF is
there's other
retarded,
pieces-
Ace. I don't know why
other
you're
pieces-
using this.
the other pieces of evidence, but so again, I think that it's pretty clear from that GIF
No,
that
it's not.
it seems
No,
to
it's
be
not.
what's not.
Ace, this GIF
I mean,
just takes
I don't
two
think you guys-
snaps. So
you guys
hold
haven't
on.
even read the article. The
Ace,
entire. I mean, like I said, there's
I'm
like
looking at the
3,000
article
words in
now,
that
Ace.
article.
Great.
I'm glad.
That's
I mean,
great.
maybe you should continue reading through it until you've actually absorbed the entire technique that was
Yeah,
used.
just
the
read the article
findings.
and take it as gospel.
Ace, you've been to college, right? I don't care if you've never finished, but you've been to college, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever take a course that showed you how to verify your sources?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Are you sure you've taken one of those courses?
Yeah, you go down the list of sources and you keep reading and you compare.
How
the
have you
claim
verified
made-
this source, Ace?
Alice
compare
isn't
the
even
claim
an
made.
objective website.
Ace, how did you
So,
verify this
wait.
source?
So do you? Okay, so let me ask you a question, Squishy.
Mm.
Because I answered one of yours. Do you doubt that those are official NASA photos? They're being
I
used?
don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay, so what if I go onto the NASA archives and I show you that those are official NASA photos?
Ace,
And then,
what if we just
wait,
accept that
wait.
they're
I'm almost
official
done, JJ.
NASA
I'm almost
photos?
done. JJ, one sec. And
Yeah,
then,
just whether or
irrelevant,
not they're
Ace.
official photos,
Avoiding.
and then you
irrelevant.
can
You're
follow.
avoiding
Then
any
you
of
can
the act-
Wait, let me finish. I was in the middle of a sentence, guys. Please
You're
stop
in the
interrupting
middle
me.
of a sentence that's
So
irrelevant to the
then
discussion.
No, it's not. It's
It
completely
is
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
Let me finish my sentence. I'll show you how.
Ace, you
So
never
you can
answered my
take-
question.
You can take. I will in just a sec. So you can take those official NASA photos, and you can use Photoshop yourself, and you can make your own GIF, and it'll show exactly what you're seeing here.
Hey, Ace,
Not hard.
how did you verify this?
What am I looking at? What's the GIF supposed to be?
It's just
real
bullshit,
quick.
chum. Good luck.
These-
Okay, could
these
you
are the
actually
two
argue?
pictures
Could
Ace
you
is
actually
talking
argue
about that
the
the guy
evidence,
is-
Squishy,
Hold on.
rather than nitpicking
Ace, I
on
can't-
Sutek,
I
hold
can't
on.
argue- I can't
Everyone shut up.
argue
One person
with-
at a time. One person at a time. Go ahead,
Okay,
Sutek.
I'm sorry.
Sutek.
These are the pictures that are posted just before that GIF. The two squares are what's taken and layered together to make the GIF.
Yep.
I don't know what this is supposed to show, Ace.
What do you mean? It's pretty clear what the GIF is showing.
It shows me he took parts of two images and put them together on a loop for a GIF.
Yeah, to
They're
demonstrate parallax.
They're at different angles.
To demonstrate parallax.
Oh my god.
Do you know what parallax is?
I do know what parallax is, Ace, but
Okay, good. And so don't you think that you can
He's talking, Ace. Shut the fuck up.
Look, Tech,
No,
don't you
sit
think
down,
you can
Ace, and let Sutek finish his sentence.
Look, Squishy.
No,
Squishy,
come on. I want to hear what
appreciate-
Sutek's saying, though, and you keep over talking him every
you
time he
keep
responds to you.
over-talking- You keep over talking
So
me.
sit down, Sutek. What were you saying?
Sutek, don't you think that it's
Oh
quite
my
easy
God.
to actually use parallax to determine the distance of objects and images?
they're at, oh my god, Ace, it's not even the same frame. They're not at, like, they're showing different parts of the fucking V. The astronaut's not even in the same position. What is this
Who
supposed
cares about the astronaut? We're not talking about the astronaut or the vehicles. We're talking about the ground. We're talking about how it seems that the ground seems to go up to a backdrop, and there is a clear delineation between the ground and the backdrop in the back.
But the
Also,
time at which
those
astronaut...
and those mountains in the background are supposedly 20 kilometers away, and the parallax that's observed in those images actually completely refute the fact that they're 20 kilometers away. and
Completely
probably more like-
refute.
Okay.
Probably closer to
Hold
30 meters.
Ace.
30 meters, 30 to 35 meters away from the camera, based on the parallax.
I don't know what to tell you, Ace. Ancient aliens, faked moon landings. I don't know what to do with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, we
mean,
can continue discussing the evidence.
We don't know how far apart those pictures were taken. There's a lot of things we don't know about these two pictures because this fucking idiot on this website just posted two pictures right next to each other.
Okay,
It's
I'm
the
waiting
same
for an
thing.
argument.
I mean,
what's your argument?
It's just like if Arcane Logos came on here and posted a picture of the fucking horizon being. That's all. It's the equivalent
This is
of what
exactly
you're doing.
what's going on. He's a flat Earth guy right now. He's just posting pictures and saying this proves it right here. Look at the math.
I'm
It
waiting
proves
for
it,
the
man.
argument. Okay, so you're calling me a flat earther. You're saying that some guy stitched two images together. Neither of those statements are arguments.
But my argument is it doesn't tell me anything.
Where did he account for lens distortion?
Wait. Why are you claiming that these images tell you nothing?
Because you're just saying parallax. So I don't.
Okay, wait. So do
telling me
you
anything beyond
deny that we can use parallax to measure distances in images?
No.
One sec, I'll be right back.
Jesus.
He's got to Google some things, guys.
This is crazy.
He does have to do that's exactly what he was doing. Too. I'll be right back. I gotta go take a piss.
Yeah. So what if the images are even fake?
This website links to nothing. It's just more images.
Well, it's irrelevant whether or not the images are fake.
The author doesn't exist, though.
Well, it's irrelevant, though. Well, what does that matter?
But JJ is right.
A
lot of this stuff just comes from this Jack White guy that's just a lifelong conspiracy theorist. He moved on from the JFK assassination when no one would take him seriously to the moon landing where no one again took him seriously.
Oh, well, a lot of people took him serious.
Even if you look him up, he's just described as a self-proclaimed like photo.
Just ask Ace when he comes back, right? He's probably sitting there listening to on right now. But just ask him to explain to you the math and explain to you exactly how that shows that it's fake.
A self-proclaimed.
He won't be able to. He'll tell you to look at the fucking
analysis.
article. He'll just say, "Look at the article. Look at the article." He doesn't actually fucking know how to explain any of this. He just points to buzzwords, just like a flat Earth guy. He just wants to post pictures and then say, "Look at the picture. It proves me right."
He did the same thing with the Sphinx bullshit too.
Yeah, it's like when I used to like play video games or something, and like there'd be these people who were just like, dude, there's no way that what you did was humanly possible, man. There's no fucking way. And it's just like, dude, you would just like show them how to do it, and they would like still wouldn't believe it. They just like get so convinced by like, dude, this isn't possible. There's fucking no way, man. Like the same type of phenomenon with Ace.
Look, I wish we landed on the moon just as much as you guys do.
Oh my god.
Oh, Declan, you've missed a lot.
Declan.
Declan, Ace thinks that all the Apollo
I've
missions
been listening to
have
this
been fake.
whole fucking
You
thing
have?
for like the past hour. Yes, I've not
I'm
said
just-
a goddamn word.
Declan, you missed a
Hey
lot,
Ace, what about those images from satellites? From a satellite the Japanese launched that imaged the landing sites.
Are
You
the
can see-
satellites real, Ace?
Can you see that? You can
man.
Yeah,
see
the
Japan's
that.
satellites are real.
Jewish.
Did Japan fake
No,
their
okay, so
imagery?
wait, so you're talking about the flyover, right?
The Japanese launched a satellite that, for a number of years, orbited the moon and took photos, and in doing
Okay, look,
so,
so yeah, I
images
think I know the
Apollo
images you're
landing
talking
sites.
about. Let me grab those images for you. One sec.
Oh my God! Here we
Did it
go.
come from NASA? Did it come from NASA? 'Cause
In
if
this
it did,
case,
it's not
no.
trustworthy.
No, it came from the Japanese space agency,
That was parroting Ace.
and it was even launched on one of their rockets. So
Oh well, obviously the answer to that is that they're in cahoots with NASA.
Has
can't
anyone
trust the space
gone
agency.
to the Owless Online homepage?
Holy
No.
shit. Those are really pretty pictures of the moon that oh my god.
Pictures from Mars are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. Did you I
This is
posted
what we were talking about.
I posted the link to the raw image data from Curiosity, and you can
Oh,
go
wait,
through like
wrong
they have
one.
like hundreds of thousands of photos on it.
I had been there before, but not for some time. A couple of years, probably.
Wait, you've been to Mars?
Talk
I
about the
didn't say
raw
that.
image photo.
Not funny.
Hmm.
Oh look, there's an entire wiki for third-party evidence for Apollo moon land.
Mhm.
Ace only reads wiki, so maybe I should send this to him.
Why are you assuming I only read wiki? Okay, so you're talking about this image, right, Ludic?
yeah, there's a number of them.
Yeah.
the landing
Okay.
sites.
So you know that the proportions of the LEM in that picture are completely different than the actual proportions of the LEM.
Oh my god.
What's lens
Who
distortion,
claims
Ace?
that?
It's not hard. So look, so they show a 50-meter marker, right? And from that 50-meter marker, you can quite easily estimate the size of the images, and that LEM is actually larger than it in that image is larger than it's claimed to be.
Those are links on that
Plus,
website.
look, I mean, if you actually zoom into the LEM, oh my gosh, it looks like it's just a blob. It looks like some guy went in with paint and just like kind of made a couple of circles.
Hey, it's a
Do-
wow.
Do you see the
You know-
images that
Wait.
Jovan posted above? Scroll up.
Yeah, it looks equally fake.
Looks fake.
It's just all looks fake, man. Looks fake, bro.
Squishy.
It's all fake, bro.
I posted the
Well, I mean,
actual
actually,
image. He's
so that
posting a
image-
doctored
so
image,
that
by the way.
image-
He's
Squishy.
posting a doctored image, by the way.
Clearly, those
I am
arrows are painted
not
on
posting a
Squishy.
doctored image.
Looks
what are you
fake.
talking about?
Here's the problem, though. What looks real?
Oh
We
fuck.
don't know, right? Because we haven't been there.
So then, what is it based on looking fake? I mean, like, what's the basis?
Can we actually get past Phil 101 and talk about the evidence?
Well, I mean,
That's a good
how do we talk
question.
about the evidence if we don't? I mean,
Dude, what's the definition of definition, man?
That's not what he's asking.
Yeah, that's not what he's doing.
What? How do we know things,
Ace, you
man?
could stop the troll sound.
How is it that
Oh,
we
he's
know
memeing.
something?
Guys, he's
Memeing.
spiraling. He's spiraling
It's a
now.
kill screen.
Kill screen.
Well,
It's
look,
over.
okay, so let's just go back to the evidence. So,
I
like
want
I
you to
said,
answer
The
Tom's
evidence
question.
what?
the GIF that I posted, right,
The
shows
GIF
I
looks
think
fake, Ace.
pretty clearly. Yeah, I agree. It does look really fake. I agree. It
No, I'm
looks like
talking about the
it
actual
was-
GIF. Just the entire
looks-
Yeah,
structure of it.
I agree. It looks like it
doctored and
was.
fake.
I agree. It looks like it was taken in a soundstage. I agree, Jovan.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so Ace, what's
stupid.
the evidence that we didn't go to the moon?
I gave one piece of evidence. Nobody's refuted it yet.
Yeah,
What,
a
the
GIF.
GIF? The GIF?
That's
Ace?
one piece of. That's
What?
one piece.
How
of
is that evidence
What
that we
kind of
didn't go to the
refute-
moon? No. How is that evidence that we didn't go to the moon, Ace?
I've been trying to say that, and I've got it out a few times, but I keep getting interrupted seemingly. So let's
No,
see if I can get this out
You
completely.
haven't told me once yet. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's see if I can get this out completely this time. Okay. So the reason why it looks fake is because do you understand how
I don't
parallax
care
works?
why it looks fake. Why is it evidence that we didn't go to the moon?
It's evident. Look, okay, this is gonna take more than a single sentence to explain this, JJ. If you can't focus,
It looks fake. I grant it looks fake. How is it evidence that we didn't go to the moon?
because of the parallax.
That's what just show how it looks fake, you dumb fuck.
The differing parallax of different
I'm going to
objects.
give you that it's fake. How is that evidence we didn't go to the moon?
So you're telling me that NASA's giving us fake pictures?
Nope.
What do you mean?
I'm granting your claim that it's fake. I'm asking how is it evidence we didn't go to the moon?
Wait, what's fake? The pictures that NASA's giving us?
Whatever you just presented, how is that evidence that we didn't go to the moon?
Okay, so you're telling me that NASA's handing out
How is it fucking evidence?
Wait, you're admitting that something's fake, and I'm asking you, you're telling me that NASA is passing out fake pictures.
I'm waiting for your answer.
Look, okay, like I said, do you understand how parallax works, JJ?
I'm just waiting for your answer.
Okay, so how parallax works is that objects that are further away shift less. You understand that?
I don't give a shit.
Well, you have to understand parallax to understand why this is evidence that it was faked.
I already granted you that it's fake, you stupid.
Okay,
Fuck.
so if those images are fake, then we didn't go to the moon.
How are you making that inference?
Wow.
That's not a deductive claim. That's an inductive argument.
I don't care.
You're so stupid.
How is that evidence?
The image fake, therefore didn't go to moon.
No, it would actually be abductive. That's an abductive argument.
That's not the best explanation.
Yes, it is. Look,
there's other explanations, Aces.
wait,
Maybe they didn't have the
given-
technology at the time to do it, so they faked the pictures.
So, given the assumption that the images that NASA's passing out are fake, the best explanation would be that they did.
I don't think so.
Well, if they did do what they said they did, then why are they passing out fake images?
Could be because the images that they did take were corrupted, didn't work.
There's a number of things you can theorize. You can theorize if they wanted you wanted to throw the Soviets off. There are multiple explanations.
Well, so
sure, and like I said, I think those are all less likely.
I think it's more likely.
Why?
Oh shit, that's funny as hell.
That is
that
funny.
That the photography didn't work. None of it worked. So they had to use stuff that they manufacture.
Okay,
Hey,
so
you don't think a better explanation is that they had to doctor the images because they were shit images?
Well, why would they doctor them in such a specific way?
What specific way?
What specific?
So don't you see what the GIF is demonstrating? The parallax?
But the GIF isn't made by NASA, right? It's made by.
Sure, but you can recreate that GIF from official NASA photos.
But Ace, they're two different pictures
doesn't
from different
matter.
situations. We don't know
No,
how
they
far
were
apart
taken-
those pictures
Even
were
if the
taken.
pictures,
No, they
even if
were
the pictures
taken-
are
they were
fake,
taken not
fucking
far apart
soundstage
from
with the
each other.
backdrop.
How do
What
you
does that have
know?
to do with anything?
Pictures, look, those pictures were. If you actually
You're
read
just
the
going
article,
back into this bullshit.
If you actually read the article, Sutek, those images were taken one after another. They were next to each other on the roll
The
of film.
question Ace is asking: why were they faked so specifically?
Yes. Why were they faked?
I don't know what
away?
specific.
That sounds retarded. Why were they faked that way over another way, Ace?
Faked in a
what-
way you
No,
could
no,
eventually
I'm just
tell they
saying-
were faked?
Look, so I'm just saying that. I mean,
Specifically
so
in what
JJ
way?
Okay, so whether or not it doesn't matter whether or not those images, that GIF was made by Alice or NASA, right?
No,
Do you
how,
not-
specifically. What do you
Can I
mean it was
finish a
made
sentence?
specifically?
Can I finish a sentence? So JJ, so it doesn't matter whether or not that GIF was made by Alice or NASA. That's we can ignore that if because it's not an argument one way or another. And let's look at the content of the image. So are you telling me that you don't think that from that parallax, what you perceive from that parallax, do you think that shows that image has a mountain that's 20 kilometers in the
Oh my God, you're
background?
so stupid, Ace. He already said he'd grant you that
doesn't
it's
matter.
fake. He said that
Okay,
you
so
can grant you that it's fake 20 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm
You
talking
keep
to JJ here.
repeating that it's
Talking to
fake.
JJ here. So let's get a confirmation, a concrete confirmation. So you agree that image makes it seem like that this is in a sound stage with a backdrop.
He never said that either.
He's just granting that the images are fake.
No.
So
I'm just saying.
stupid.
Does it make
Ace,
it?
he grants you that it's
not,
fake. Stop asking him
No.
whether or not he agrees that they're fake.
No. I'm not. No, I'm asking a very specific question. I didn't ask if it looked like it was fake.
It's
I asked,
irrelevant.
No, it's completely relevant.
No, it's not. If he grants you that they're fake, it's irrelevant to ask if they're fake.
Look, John.
Let Ace finish the
Holy
stupid
shit!
question.
Yeah. John Jovan.
Ace, you're an idiot, dude.
John Jovan.
Completely. Just
John
stupid. You can't
Jovan.
understand anything.
So sure, buddy. I can't
This is gonna
understand.
be a great question. Please finish it.
Go ahead and
Okay,
show
so-
everyone how it's irrelevant. Go ahead.
Jovan, can you please stop bird dogging?
Go
It's
ahead.
just
Just go,
really
Ace.
annoying.
Go.
Just just stop bird dogging, Jovan.
Go,
It's
Ace.
really, I will at my own pace. I will at my own pace. Okay, so Jovan, I don't need you laughing.
Go
at
ahead,
me.
Ace.
No, I as
I
soon
don't
as
care what you
Jovan
need,
as
Ace.
soon as
Let's
Jovan
stop the
stops
bird dogging.
dogging-
Come on, that is really annoying for anyone.
Thank you, Tom. I
not
really
fair.
appreciate it. All right, so JJ, so looking at that GIF, do you not think that it makes you perceive that or does it not make it seem that it's, you've got this backdrop with a stage floor hitting the backdrop from that GIF? Does it not seem to be that's the case?
You're asking me, does it look in that GIF that there's a backdrop?
Yeah, a stage floor
Yes.
meeting a backdrop at a line.
Yep, looks like there's a backdrop.
Okay, good. So did you know that almost all of the images from the moon supposedly have this line across the background where it seems like the backdrop is meeting the floor?
That's the case for any picture you take that's
Yeah.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah, Ace.
Okay. So now if all the images, or the majority of the images that were supposedly taken on the moon have this kind of visual artifact, isn't that evidence that this was taken in a soundstage with a backdrop?
I already granted you that.
Okay, good. Okay,
I did this
so
a long time ago. I don't know.
yeah.
You're just not showing how that's evidence that we didn't go to the moon. That's all.
Okay, so you're telling me, so you're telling me it's more likely that all these images are fake and that we went to the moon rather than we just didn't go to the moon and NASA faked these images?
Yep.
Why is that the case?
Because there's other evidence that we went to the moon.
Like what? The fucking corner reflectors? You think
I don't know what the corner reflectors are.
There's reflectors on the moon that we can shoot lasers
there
at.
aren't reflectors.
All right, fine. I knew what the fuck they were.
There are not. That's a fucking lie.
Oh my God, Ace, what is wrong with you?
What do you need reflectors on the moon to be able to bounce lasers off of it? Are you kidding me?
Testing problems for lunar reflectors, specifically designed reflectors left on the lunar surface by Russian rovers and Apollo astronauts, are getting less efficient due to the coating of dust, and more so whenever there's a full. Just all bullshit according to Ace. Everything's a bullshit.
Okay, well let's talk about
Everything
the
is
spacesuit.
fake.
Okay, so let's talk about the spacesuits, right? So they were made out of
Let's
linen.
talk about
and
what are you doing? Why are you going on
my-
the spacesuits?
Wait, because there's
JJ still asking you questions, Ace.
I'm not gish galloping. There are multiple
You
pieces
talked
of
about
evidence.
something
so if
irrelevant.
JJ,
Now you're trying to get to an entirely new
JJ
topic.
Look. No, this is the same topic. We're still talking
No,
about
it's
the moon.
not.
I mean, this is a cumulative case. There are multiple pieces of evidence. You're
You
just saying,
haven't even
this one piece
answered
of
the
evidence.
first line of questioning.
Ace, do you think the moon is made out of cheese?
I've been here answering questions. for half-
JJ
I've
asked you
been here
20
answering-
minutes ago.
Hey, Ace, prove to me that the moon isn't made out of cheese.
Jesus Christ. JJ asked you 20 minutes ago and granted
so
you
the-
that it was
yeah,
fake.
so-
and you've
so
been,
the
and
light-
you've been just
so the light-
explaining to him
so
how
we
you
can
think it's
take
fake the entire time, Ace.
So squishy, we can take a spectral reading of the light that's reflected off the
Jesus
moon.
No, that's
Christ.
fake.
Oh, fuck.
Ace, no, that's fake and all. No, that's fake. I don't
How
believe.
is it fake?
How isn't it fake?
What's with
So I'm explaining it to you. So it's very well known.
No, I'm saying that it's fake.
Very well.
And I'm telling you that
I
since
know
I
you're
believe
asking me
that
how to
it's-
explain it.
No, no,
I know
no.
you're
I'm telling
asking me
you.
to explain it to
I'm
you.
telling you that since I believe that it's fake, I think that the moon is made of cheese.
So you reject science then?
Do you
Good
reject
for you.
science?
I'm glad that you reject science, Squishy, and spectroscopy. That's really good on you. Congratulations. You're a science denier.
Are you kidding
So
me?
yeah,
So this
I
is
know that
just Japan confirming
the moon.
the
I know
laser
that the moon
reflectors
is
for
not
no
made
reason.
off of.
It's just fake.
I know that the moon is not made of cheese because of spectroscopy.
Why? Have you been there?
I don't need to be there to take a measurement of the spectrum of light that's reflected off the moon.
No, but that's fake.
How is my measuring fake?
Did you
'Cause
measure it, Ace?
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
didn't measure.
I actually, I could very easily. I have access to a spectroscopy device.
Did you?
Can we talk about how do rockets
So-
work in space?
No, wait, Ace, did you?
How's that relevant?
So you're just taking somebody's word, Ace. It's fake. You haven't done it yourself.
I could. No, I'm saying that I
You
could do it
haven't
myself.
though. Doesn't I could go to the moon,
Okay, so
Ace. I
what
could go
if-
to the
what if
moon
I
and see
do
the
it-
lunar landing right now.
What if I do? What if I do it tomorrow?
Ace, what if I
Because
went and seen the lunar landing tomorrow?
Feasibly, I could do it tomorrow. Feasibly, you couldn't.
What? Feasibly, the fucking America could.
Look, feasibly, you cannot go to the moon. Feasibly,
No.
I can take a spectroscopy reading.
Who cares? What?
Who made the device?
How do you know the reading's real, Ace?
So anyway.
No, how do you know
since
the
guys
reading's
are
real,
gi-
Ace?
So,
No,
since
no, you're
you
not
guys
gonna
are
get away
gish
from this,
galloping.
Ace.
I
Since
wanna
you
hear
guys are
the
gish
answer to Colin's
galloping.
question.
I don't
No,
want
you're
him to
not
get
gonna get
away
away
from
from
me.
this.
Okay, so let's go back to
Every
the
time he's
evidence.
asked a question, man, he
Let's
just
go
avoids
back
it.
to the evidence.
Alpha Guck makes a very good argument here. It's space cheese, not Earth cheese, so it's
Wait,
more reflective.
hold on, why haven't we been back to the moon?
Chris, I don't know who you are. Shut up.
Okay, so let's
Yeah,
go
you'll
back
have
to
to
the
wait,
evidence.
Chris.
Alright, later. Muted.
Let's go back to the evidence.
Mhm.
So, the spacesuits that the astronauts used were made out of linen and
Why is he
mylar.
going through with this now?
He's trying to
So
say
they
that
were-
we couldn't
Ace, you
make it
can't
through
even
the
answer a
Van
simple
Allen
question. Why do you
belt.
keep going on?
No, I'm not making any claims about the Van Allen belts, actually, because there is protection. You know, I actually think that it's feasible to pass through the Van Allen belts in the time that they did. I think that the Van Allen belt
Could you
argument
get
is
to the
actually very-
fucking point, Ace?
is poor. So I'm not going to
Thanks,
make any
Squishy.
appeals. Yeah, I'm not going to make any appeals to the Van Allen belt, Squishy. So the suits that these astronauts had were made of linen and alternating layers of linen and mylar. Right? You guys know that?
JJ, did he ever answer your first question?
No.
Look, how can you prove anything to someone who's genuinely skeptical? Look,
How can you prove anything now?
I'm a global skeptic, right? I am
This is where
genuinely
we got to,
skeptical.
man.
Look, I
This
am
is the
genuinely
point we've gotten
skeptical
to
of
with it.
everything. No. I mean, this is a question of
You're not
justification.
skeptical. You
right?
believe that it was fake. What do you mean you're skeptical? Are you lying to us now?
No, I'm a global skeptic. I'm
You
skeptical
believe
of
that it
everything.
was fake, Ace.
So anyway, like I said, let's look at the evidence here, right?
Also, you're wrong about what the spacesuits were made out of, Ace.
What do you mean?
They were made out of a Teflon-coated fiberglass fiber.
Yeah, that had impregnated silk. It's mylar-like, right? I'm just using the term mylar.
Okay. All right.
Right, yeah.
Okay. You'll use every other scientific word to
He's-
try and sound smart, but you're gonna fudge
No,
up.
mylar.
He's
No,
using
mylar
the
is a
colloquial
Mylar
version.
is a well.
Okay,
Yeah, it's-
colloquial version of mylar. All right, gotcha.
Of spacesuit.
He's using a tasteless definition.
you guys
Okay,
are.
I got one for you. I
Ace,
got
you
one.
haven't answered the first question.
Ace, I got one for you. Watch
I've
that
had
footage.
many questions go on.
Okay, can I talk for a sec, guys? Watch that footage, the Apollo 15 lunar liftoff. It's taken from the data acquisition
the
camera,
fakest
DAC
thing in
camera.
the world.
It's 16 millimeter film footage.
He said it's fake.
And okay, well, just watch it anyway. And when it blasts off, right, the ascent
seen
stage
it.
fires. Well, maybe not that particular one. When the ascent stage fires, right, the rocket blows some of the mylar heat shielding off the ascent stage, and you can see the
Yeah, I
chunks
know.
of it fly off.
It
Now,
looks
as you
fake.
see as those chunks fly off, they fly a tremendous distance away from the ascent module, right? And you can see the way it flies through the air. That's not Earth gravity. You can see it right in the fucking image. Watch it, people.
It's the fakest thing in the world, especially the
Fakest
Apollo.
image. Everything's
The
fake,
Apollo
man.
17.
That's his argument for
look,
everything. It's fake.
The Apollo 17 takeoff is even worse.
How do rockets work in space? Someone explain.
Oh my god.
Look, I don't doubt that rockets fucking work in space. It's basic F
They
equals
don't
MA.
work. No, they don't work in space, dude.
Ace,
There's an
why-
HD copy of it.
This is
out there,
Ace's
I'll
little
find it.
brother right
Rockets
here.
work in
But did
space.
you guys and someone else watch it? You know what I'm
The
talking
thing-
about? See the little piece of
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. The
shield
pieces
fly
of the-
off?
The pieces of the heat shielding
It's called
keep going, right? Like
Yeah.
rather than just blowing up and falling down, they keep going.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
thing with
Because there's it's in the vacuum of space, right? If it was on Earth, there'd be air for it to hit, right?
So why are there
thing-
bubbles in space?
Oh my
God,
god,
with
this
fuck is-
idiot.
Who is this guy?
Can we
It's
just mute
hot.
the idiot, please?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
Chris.
mean, he's just gonna like bring it down to a
Answer
stupid
my question.
level. We don't
Why are there
really know.
bubbles in
Oh
space?
my god.
It
He doesn't
just-
even know. Yeah, please, just ignore that guy.
What is it? Water, dust particles,
It's
one or
just
the
so
other.
fake, man. Everything's fake.
Water droplets.
So now, anytime Ace ever gives you any argument, just tell him that the information he got was fake.
The way Ace is
Yeah,
just
go,
like
go right ahead to your own peril.
Ace, the way
Really
you just
brief.
shrug off whatever evidence you are given is just textbook flat Earth.
No, no. Look, I've looked at
No.
the evidence.
No,
on both
That's what a
sides.
flat earther says, Ace.
Yeah.
It's exactly what a
No.
flat earther says. I've looked at the evidence.
Like Ludic
Well,
posted this
haven't you
video and
looked
your
at the evidence,
immediate
Jovan?
response
Wait,
is that is
wait.
the
Sutek,
fakest.
one sec. Sutek, one sec. So, Jovan, haven't you looked at the evidence on both sides?
No, I'm
Why
just
is he
telling you,
allowed to
you're
interrupt
using the
you,
exact same
Wait,
response as
why
a flat earther,
haven't?
Ace.
Sure, fine. That guilt by association. Thanks. But have you looked at both sides, Jovan? Have you looked at the evidence on both sides thoroughly?
I've looked at a few pieces of evidence.
Okay.
Ludic, that image,
that's
that
fair.
video is awesome.
Ace, yeah, it's an awesome one. Hey, Ace, I've studied the heck out of it, so I know all the cool stuff. Hey, check out that last video. Check that out, Ace. What do you think? The pieces,
fake.
the pieces that are blowing off the ascent stage, right? Mylar chunks and stuff that fly off horizontally in relation to the surface of the moon. Watch that. You think
They're
that
fake,
could be
Judith.
faked on Earth? Watch the way they move, those chunks and the way they fly. Clearly, that's not in an atmosphere.
CGI, Ludic.
Yo, that's fucking
then
terrifying that their
they
Mylar
have-
Rockets-
shielding fell off during that. I bet
Rockets-
they were terrified on re-entry. Oh my god.
No, it was
Rockets
just
do
there.
work
It
in
was just
space,
there to
but
prevent drastic
but there's
heat
no-
changes in
There's
the
no-
spacecraft, right?
Oh yeah. Did you watch? There was a show I think on Discovery about like secret space missions. It was called because the Air Force did like hundreds of them that like nobody knows about, right? Or the military did, not just the Air Force. And one of them on takeoff, they noticed that one of their Mylar shields fell off. And it wasn't just one; it was like a whole chunk of them, and they were terrified to do re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. And
That's not Mylar, but
oh,
that's a different kind
I-
of heat shield.
yeah, no, it came off like one of the wings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
that's something different.
yeah, they took pictures of it and they sent it back to Houston, and Houston told them, yeah, it's fine. When they landed, Houston's like, we couldn't see anything in those fucking pictures, by the way.
Yeah.
Here, so Ludic, I just queued up the video. It's at 51 seconds. Could you take
Yeah,
a look
well, you know what? My video is the same video and it's of higher quality, so please refer to it.
I'm finding it
How
odd.
is that one? Wait. How's that one? Oh, okay. It's stabilized and speed corrected. Okay. Well, either way,
And
I
it's
just
an
don't
HD
understand-
rip.
Dude, I just
The other
don't
one's old
understand-
school from analog TV.
Sure. I just don't understand how you think that looks real. It's just so strange to me.
I just described to you how I think it's real. I think it's real because of how the chunks that flow off the ascent stage fly horizontally away from the ascent stage. You can just see the way they move. Right?
Like there's actually been some pretty.
There's no way you could do
analysis.
that on Earth because you'd have to have an
Wait,
atmosphere.
Ludic, there's been some pretty in-depth analysis of the video artifacts that are found in that clip, and it's pretty embarrassing. Here, one sec. Let me see if I can get you that for you.
Anyone else find it odd that a biblical flat earther joined the chat as Ace started up on
I
this?
agree. That was kind of strange. I agree.
So it's like, haven't you heard the same thing from other flat earthers? Well, no, that video has been combed through, and there's been proven wrong in every aspect.
I've listened to fucking Arcane Logos and Juranism, and I've watched Red's Rhetoric do his shit.
I never could stand Arcane Logo.
Oh no, I can't stand him either. He's a fucking pothead.
Okay,
piece of shit.
Ace.
Hey.
Ace, I'm talking about 26 seconds into my video that I shared, right? 26 seconds into this video, right? That's what I'm talking about. See the chunk I'm referring to? There's lots of pieces coming off, but I'm referring to a very specific piece of the heat shield, or heat shielding. Can you see that? It's 26 seconds in.
Ace, this Chris guy's posting some.
See what I'm talking about,
convincing
Ace?
gifs.
Yeah, I see that.
See that? See that fly
He
away?
sees it, Ludic. Relax. Jesus fucking Christ.
Would that be even feasible to fake in an atmosphere?
Yeah, that would be. Mylar's pretty thin and it floats pretty easily.
Dude, do you think it could fly for like, I don't know, 30 yards? 5 feet off the ground like that? Bullshit.
Yeah, like with
Bullshit.
a little gust.
Go get some tin. It's basically tinfoil. It's basically
a little gust of wind. You're telling me a little gust of wind couldn't push that far?
No.
Shit!
Wow.
Oh my god, he doesn't understand.
dumb.
No, you're so
He's got to
dumb.
be trolling.
You guys are dumber than
Ace,
shit.
it doesn't slow. It doesn't move direction. It just.
What do you mean? It's
constant.
tumbling. It's tumbling. How's
What?
Yeah,
it?
it's tumbling in the air, maybe.
Ace just can't tell the difference between wind blowing something,
The Earth is
something going
fucking
floating
tumbling,
in
Ace.
very low G.
Yeah,
Ace
it's
just
tumbling and it keeps its
has
shape.
no idea.
Right? It keeps its shape.
Ace thinks that it's the same physics results.
Ace, don't you find it
Wind
weird
blowing
that we're on-
something.
No,
something
I don't
just
think it's the
continuing to
same
move in low G.
No, I don't think it's the same result. What are you talking about, JJ? Actually, most of my arguments actually are based on the fact that there's certain things that seem to have been done in Earth gravity.
So, what would that mylar really look like then?
So you guys,
If
you
it
guys
was really taking off from the moon, what would the mylar really look like? What would it really do?
Okay, so you guys also know that there's a replica of the Sea of Tranquility.
If that video was really made on the moon, what would the mylar do that would be different from it looking like wind blew it?
Ace was
Anytime.
talking while you were talking, JJ, so I don't think he listened.
Anytime, Ace.
I'm sure you can figure that on your own, JJ.
Ace, what was the question?
What's the difference between how Mylar would act in an environment and on the moon?
Why don't you know that?
I do know that. I'm just not expending
Alas.
the effort to explicate it.
So you'll sit here and talk bullshit about spacesuits 5 times in a row, but you won't talk about that? That'll easily prove.
Well, because maybe I want to keep the discussion focused.
Pretty focused.
He wants it to go where he wants it to go.
Yeah, anyway, it seems like your bluff failed, Squishy. I did know exactly what JJ was asking me.
Then why didn't you answer it?
Why not?
It's beneath him. In any case, Ace, Chris is posting some fantastic gifs. I think the Earth is flat now.
What's this?
Yeah, I like I said, I reject flat earthism. I think that they're completely
But-
wrong.
I don't know, man. These are some convincing gifs.
What are they pictures of space?
Like I said, I don't
play?
think there's good
Octopus?
evidence for the flat Earth. I think that there's
Space
no good
jellyfish.
evidence. There's no good evidence for the flat Earth, but there's very good evidence.
Have
that the
you
moon landing is
observed the
fake.
curve of the Earth, Ace? How do you know?
Yes. Yes, there's images that demonstrate the curvature.
Okay, those images are fake.
Those are fake.
How would they? Could you demonstrate their fakery?
They're just
Because the
fake.
people who release them are people who produce fake images, like you said, so they're fake.
What do you
NASA
mean?
produces
How
a
is
lot
that
of
my
them.
argument?
Why should we trust?
Your argument is that NASA produces fake images, thus the
These
things that they do are
wait,
fake.
why do you think?
So
why
if
do you
they
think
produced fake
images were
images of the
produced by
moon landing,
NASA?
if they
Why do you think
wait, hold
these
up a second. If
images
they
were
produced
produced
fake
by
images,
NASA?
if they produced
Why
fake
do you
images, if
think
they
these
produced fake
images
images,
were
talking, Nate.
produced
if they
by
produced fake
NASA?
images in the past, doesn't that mean that
Squishy,
all
did you
their
not
other
hear me?
images are considered
Did
fake?
you not hear me?
Hey,
I'm
can you
gonna
stop
get
over
my
talking,
I'm gonna
Squishy?
get my
Yeah,
sentence out
she can keep
before you
repeating
can
herself,
interrupt
but it's
me.
look,
But how
Squishy.
is it that you can say that
I asked you a question,
NASA
Squishy. Are you gonna
produced
She's
answer
been
me?
trying to talk, Ace.
Hello.
Since NASA produced fake images in the past, doesn't that mean that all their other images are
So
fake in
dumb,
the future?
Squishy. You're so fucking
Like you
dumb.
said, that's your logic right
You're
there.
so
I'm
fucking dumb.
following your logic, Ace.
That's not what I said. Nice try.
You said that the moon
Look.
landing images are fake, thus that the moon landings are fake.
Yeah, but does that mean that every image that NASA releases is fake? No.
Yes.
Okay, you can believe that.
Why not?
Do I really have to explain that? Do I really have to explain why
Yeah, go
someone
ahead.
can release some fake images and some others that are real?
How
Do
would
I
you tell
really
the
have to
difference?
explain that?
No, it's just
through
abduction,
examination,
Ace.
through examination and analysis of the
That's
material
fake.
presented.
No, you don't know anything.
You're right. I
Easily
know that I
doctored.
know nothing. That's some true wisdom there, Squishy. Plato said that.
Fucking Ace, what's wrong with you? What the fuck is going on?
You guys believing we went to the moon?
I just don't understand,
Silly
JJ. Like,
Billy.
if you ask the question and then you say, "Look, I grant you that they're fake," and he just keeps repeating to you why he thinks they're fake.
I wasn't
Like,
repeating
I
to
can't
him.
understand that.
No, I wasn't repeating to him why I think they're fake. I was trying to clarify what he said.
No,
He was
you
being
repeated
very,
to him. Did you not talk
he was
about the
very,
parallax
he was
effect
being
multiple
vague.
times?
Being very vague about what he thought was fake, and I wanted to make it very clear.
He
I
wasn't
mean, maybe
vague
I
at
spent.
all.
Sure, okay, Jovan, maybe I spent a little bit too much time on it. Sure, that's a faux pas on my part, but I just wanted to be very clear with what JJ was saying. Okay, is there something wrong with
Is that what you felt like, JJ?
What?
Do you think that you were too vague and that he was just trying to clarify what you meant the whole time?
Vague about what?
What you meant by "I grant you
cares
that
what
those are
JJ
fake"?
felt like?
When you said "I grant you that the images right there are fake," that was too vague, JJ. And he spent that whole time just trying to clarify.
Is that what Ace just said?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, I was trying to understand what JJ meant by saying, "Yeah, I think they're fake." That's pretty vague.
I know. I said I grant you that they're fake.
Yeah, and don't you think that might beg the question of a bit more clarification?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know what you mean by beg the question of
What,
a little
okay,
bit
fine,
more.
fine. What if I said Miley Cyrus is fake?
No, it's not. There was. Let's
So
get the
when I say
context.
that I grant you, when you're trying to make an argument that they are fake, and I say I grant you that they're fake,
Yeah, I was trying to make sure what you were granting. I wasn't.
what you had just said, which was
Okay,
why they were fake.
wait. What if I say to you, I grant that Miley Cyrus is fake?
If he had an argument about Miley Cyrus being fake, then maybe he can continue with
Okay,
his
no,
argument.
I know, but what
But you
do
don't
I mean
seem
by
to have
that?
any ability to
What do I mean?
continue. But
What
there's
do I
nothing
mean
behind
by
that.
that?
You're just
No, what do I
talking
mean?
bullshit.
No.
You're-
This is
You're
highly
talking.
analogous.
I just told you
So
what you meant
when
by
I
it.
Squishy,
I just
Squishy.
told you what you meant by it.
No,
It
you
means
didn't.
that you're
No, you
allowing
didn't.
him to continue with his argument. You're
Look,
allowing him to follow through.
No, Squishy.
He
It's
wants
You're
not
to.
mistaken.
analogous.
So
Oh
let me
my
explain
God.
this to you. Let me explain this to you, Squishy. So when I say that Miley
No,
Cyrus is
I don't want you to explain it to me.
good,
Ace. You're
okay,
going
then
off on a
fine. I mean,
tangent
okay,
because you
so
want to
good.
stray from
Okay,
the
well,
point
let
that you're
me.
wrong.
Okay, look. So when I say Miley Cyrus is fake, that could mean
Ace,
many
you're
things.
on a
That could
runaway
mean,
train because you're afraid of your point.
look, can I just finish? Just
I don't really
entertain.
care. I
Okay,
don't.
good,
I
good.
don't
You
think
can stop
anybody wants to hear
over-talking me.
you finish about Miley Cyrus being fake. Does anyone
Okay,
here
so
want to hear him talk about
So
Miley
it could
Cyrus
mean
being
that
fake?
You're just
it
kind
could
of
mean
like,
that her
no,
boobs.
I don't
It
know.
could mean that her
No.
boobs
Okay.
are fake. It could mean
Nobody
that her
wants to hear about that, Ace.
look,
You can move
look. It
on
could.
back to
You're just
your
kind of
Okay,
shutting
so
them
back.
down,
Okay, so
Squishy.
back.
conspiracy.
So back. Yeah. So going back, it could mean that her boobs are fake. It could mean that her voice is fake. It could mean
Jesus,
that
man.
her acting is fake. It could mean a lot of things.
He told you that he granted that the pictures were fake, Ace. He said that specifically.
Well, what about them is fake?
He just granted
Oh my-
that your claim that they're
He
fake
just
is
used
true.
the same
That's all he
fucking
fucking
argument.
did.
He takes
No, look.
the same
Like I said,
issue we
what
do,
about
but not with
Miley
himself.
Cyrus? What about Miley Cyrus is fake?
Who
What about Miley
cares?
Cyrus?
Who cares about Miley Cyrus?
No, look, it's just an analogy, right? So when I say Miley Cyrus is fake, it's
This
very
is so
vague.
stupid.
It
Hey,
could mean her boobs, it could
you
mean her
said,
voice,
look,
it could mean her career, it could mean a
He's
bunch of
not.
things.
He's just
okay,
This
Ace,
is-
look,
not
you
gonna
said,
listen.
given these certain things about this photo, we can conclude that it's fake. JJ said, okay, I would grant you that they're fake. Now, why do you think that the moon landing is false?
No, look, what I was saying, I wasn't even saying that those photos were fake. I was saying that they were official photos. Right? I wasn't saying that they were fake photos.
Oh my god.
I was saying that they're official photos, and it
Yeah,
seems to
official
demonstrate
photos, and they fake
from the
parts of the picture.
parallax. Yeah, it seems from the parallax that there was some trickery involved.
Guys, you gotta let him say this. Is the only thing that he feels smart about. All right.
That's not true, Squishy. I mean, there's definitely gaps in my knowledge, but I'm quite intellectually dominant in other areas, so I don't need this.
We know you think that.
Yeah, people only come to me for my expertise all the time.
Yeah, and you claim to be an expert in everything, it seems.
No, I'm no expert in chemistry or history or.
Are you an expert in fake moon landings?
I'd say I'm intermediate. I'm an intermediate. I'm no expert.
What does that
on
even
moon
mean?
landings. That means I've spent some significant time studying the topic.
What's a significant time?
So
No,
Ace,
I'm
what were
sorry.
they doing? Sorry,
over
Squishy.
the last.
No, it's
over the
okay,
last-
Ludic. I'd rather. You're listen.
Yeah,
go
over the
on.
last few. Over the
I'm
last
just trying to
few years,
understand how he thinks that. So what did they do all those days they were away? They were gone for like 6 days or whatever it was, depending on the mission. What were they doing?
Sitting in the
They're-
hotel.
They're probably.
They were sitting in low Earth orbit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, then what about the shots of them halfway there? They
Fake.
filmed out the window.
Well, have you seen the extended footage?
And not only did.
Wait, have you seen the extended footage?
They
Have you
filmed. Yes,
Let
I
him
have.
finish.
I've seen all of it.
and the
And the
extended
film-
extended footage shows pretty clearly
God, can
that they
you
were
You're
let-
talking
still in
about Bart
low Earth orbit.
Sobrell? You're talking about Bart Sobrell's bullshit?
Some of that, yeah.
That's fucking bullshit.
How is it bullshit?
Some of that, yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
How is that bullshit?
He said, give him a second.
If he proves that
Okay.
that it's bullshit, will you go back on that, Ace?
Sure, I'll say that that's not good evidence. Like I said, I think that there's plenty of poor pieces of evidence, right? Like the Van Allen belts, the shadows on rocks. Those are poor pieces of evidence.
The
Or they're not
shadows on rocks?
Yeah, there's some people that want to claim.
Hold
the
on, he's
moon
gonna
landing
go on
was
a
fake
tangent.
because of shadows on rocks.
You think the shadows on the rocks is bad? Why?
Bad evidence.
Why is it bad evidence?
It's poor argumentation.
Because they faked the shadows correctly
No,
on those?
it's poor. It's bad evidence, or not even evidence of multiple light sources. It's been shown that you could actually replicate the what's
But
seen
they're
in these
fake.
shadows.
What do you mean
With
been shown?
a single
But they're
with a
fake
single
photos,
light
right?
source. No. Look, so
fake photos, right?
The claim is that the shadows are cast by multiple light sources.
Right. Are they faked photos?
That's irrelevant.
Are they faked photos, Ace?
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether or not it's
Why
fake or
can't you
not.
just answer the question?
Actually, it's
No.
relevant. If it's good for them to be good evidence or not.
No. Look, whether or not
For them
they're
to be
fake,
good evidence or not, are they fake evidence?
they're official NASA photos.
of the moon, and you think
Yeah.
all the official NASA photos of the moon are fake.
Not all of them.
Oh. The ones
I
of the
mean,
rocks with the shadows is real?
No.
Jesus fuck.
No, I think there's image. You know, I can go and take a picture of the moon right now with my phone. That's not fake.
Is
That's
that
fake.
Are those the ones that are being used as evidence of multiple light sources through shadows?
No, I'm just saying that
Are
the
those
claim,
fucking fake, Ace?
Look, JJ, I'm just pointing out that the claim that these shadows support
I
multiple light
know.
sources
I already know that. That's
is
not my
a
question.
bad
That's not
argument.
my question, Ace.
Why are you asking irrelevant questions then?
It's a relevant question. Do you think that that photo was fake?
It's irrelevant.
Piece of shit.
He won't answer you.
What a loser.
Ace, why won't you answer that question?
Look, like I said, how is it relevant that
I
a
already
photo
told
is
But you
fake?
answer. Hold up. You answer.
Wait.
You
I was in
answered
the
my
middle of
stupid
I was
cheese.
in the middle of a
No.
sentence.
Okay,
I
you
was in
can-
the
If
middle
you're
of
too
Oh, is he
stupid,
gonna kill
if
screen
you're
now?
too stupid,
Squishy, I was
Hold
in the
up.
middle of a
if you're
sentence.
too
so-
stupid to
wait,
understand
wait,
why
wait,
it's relevant to what
can
you
we
were
have
saying,
moderation here? Why are these
yeah,
people
I'm
over
about to moderate you, Ace.
Yeah.
Look, no, why are these people over
Yeah.
talking me? I was
Ace,
in the middle of a
why-
sentence. So
Why
I
would
would
you
like to say
answer?
that
I
Why
didn't
would
actually
you
hear you. You
I'm in
actually
the middle
started
of a
talking
sentence.
over
I was
someone
in the
else's.
middle of something, and he
No,
literally
you weren't. No, you
interrupted
weren't.
me. Yes, I
Go
was.
ahead,
I didn't
Swishy.
finish
Go
my
ahead,
point.
Swishy.
I'm saying, why
Yeah.
would you answer my stupid question about the moon being cheese, but you won't answer a relevant question that JJ's asking about something that you specifically brought up?
Why is Squishy allowed to lie? I just don't get it. So look,
What did I
you
lie
just
about?
Wait, Ace, did you
I
just
was in
unmute
the middle.
yourself?
I
He
was in the
did.
middle of a
Fine.
sentence. Look, I was in the middle
I
of a
told him not to
sentence.
unmute himself, JJ.
Wait, I don't know who
He
muted-
agreed that he would
who-
not
who
unmute
mute-
himself.
Wait, Jovan, you're the one that muted me? I thought it was JJ.
Yes, I muted you.
Okay,
And what do you mean? What would that matter? If JJ muted you, you're not supposed to unmute yourself
That's
anyways.
not, what are you talking about? Look, there are abusive mods in here, and the reason why
Ace.
I have what I have
That
is so
wasn't
that
abuse. The only reason you have them is if
Look,
somebody's
no, that
abusing
was
you.
abuse.
Ace.
Look, that was abuse. I was in
That
the
wasn't
middle.
abuse.
Look, Jovan,
No.
I was in the middle of a sentence, and then
No, you
Squishy started
weren't.
over talking. Yes,
Ace,
I
you
was.
do that every time. You say I'm in the middle of a
was
sentence
asking
when you're
a
not in the
was
middle of a
in the
sentence.
middle. Look, I
Other
was
people were talking
answering-
before, and then you
I
started
was
over talking.
answering JJ's question. I was answering JJ's question, and then Squishy
No.
started interrupting me.
Is
I
that
was
true,
at-
I
JJ?
don't-
No.
I don't think he was answering my question, no.
He said, first off, you said that
still,
it was
okay, whatever.
irrelevant.
I was
and then
in
as
the
you-
middle of JJ.
No.
Wait, JJ. I was in the middle of a
Jesus
sentence, and
Christ,
Squishy
again,
interrupted
You
me.
were
Is that
not answering
true?
this. You even said you weren't going to answer his question.
wait,
you said it was
flat out.
irrelevant.
No. Look. I was in the middle of talking. Squishy
Wow,
interrupted.
he just keeps changing the story.
Look, did Squishy interrupt me or not?
No.
No.
Okay, you guys are fucking retards.
This just makes me question
Can
all
I
of
get
your.
Yeah, the
Oh,
way he
sorry.
thinks, the way he
Yeah.
reasons. Hey, Ace, can you take a look at that? You got to watch it all. It's 4 minutes. Greater Sapien does a great job
He's
of
not gonna watch it.
explaining why Brett Sabrell's A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. The footage he claims that he found, secret footage, is bullshit. Right there, he lied. In the documentary, he claims that that footage he found in a canister that was accidentally sent to him. It's a lie.
Okay, I'll definitely watch it for sure.
Just watch
now,
it because
yeah,
Bart
yeah, okay,
cuts
now,
off.
Ludic,
Bart
wait,
cuts
now,
off
Ludic,
his. Let me
Ludic,
just say something.
wait,
Let him
Ludic.
Bart
finish.
cuts
Let him
off.
finish
let me
it.
I
just
was
say-
in the middle of a sentence. I
He
said
wasn't
I
done
will-
talking.
I don't have time for.
He was. I was not done talking. Look, Ludic.
No, he
you
wasn't done talking.
can't- No. Okay, fine. Look, I'll be nice. Ludic, go the
You mean
fuck
you'll be
ahead
nice.
and
You'll be
interrupt
nice
me.
not to interrupt. Yeah, don't interrupt.
No. I said I will watch it. I took a breath, and then Ludic started talking. Okay, I had another sentence that I wanted to
He
say.
was saying that you said
So-
I will talk, and he was still talking, and
No,
then you
he didn't.
interrupted.
Okay, look, maybe there's a little bit of lag.
Holy, this is
Who
insane.
knows? So
Anyway, Bart Sabrell,
go-
and I'm sure you're familiar with the documentary A Funny Thing Happened on
Yeah.
the Way to the Moon. In it, he claims that it's a transparency, right? And he
Yes.
but the thing is he doesn't show the entire video, right? Whereas what I just posted for you shows it all.
Okay, that's fair.
It
And I
includes
will
parts
watch
of the
it.
video before and afterwards that Bart
Okay.
neglected to put in his
So Ludic,
quote unquote
I've got a question for you now.
He just interrupted you, Ludic. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
know.
Okay, yes, I did. I apologize.
You're very friendly, Ace. Yeah, good job.
Look, okay,
Yeah.
look. Hey, at least I'll admit when I interrupt people.
No, you don't.
I just admitted. I just admitted.
You didn't admit it a
that I
minute
interrupted.
ago.
Can you admit that you interrupted me, Ace?
No, I did not interrupt you.
Okay.
I interrupted
If I
Ludic.
when the recording is
Wait,
posted,
Lud-
and
I want
post
to.
that
So
you interrupt-
Ludic, I
like
have
you
a question
just
for you.
interrupted me now.
I just interrupted you,
hold up.
Squishy. Yes, Squishy. I
Mhm.
just interrupted you because I have a question for Ludic. So Ludic,
Well,
I'd
let
like.
Swishy finish then.
So Ludic, wait, I'd like to
Admitting
know.
you're interrupting her, so let her finish then, Ace.
No. So she was interrupting me.
Oh
when
my
I was
god,
at
you
the-
waste more time arguing about it.
I
Just
agree,
show
I
some
agree,
fucking
Ludic, I
grace.
wanna get to
Sorry,
my
go on
question.
and ask Ludic your
I agree.
was
I want to get to my
interrupting
question.
me,
So
I
Ludic, my
interrupted her,
question.
yes.
So Ludic, my question for you, Ludic, is so this video that you just sent me is some random guy on the internet, right? And I'm gonna watch it, right? I'm gonna watch this random guy on the internet talk about
That's
his opinion on the moon landings. Now, does me just saying
what
that
he's
this guy is
sharing-
just, wait, Ludic, I
Can
was
I
in the
point
middle of
something out? Can I
Wait,
point
Ludic,
something
let
out?
me finish. Let
You
me finish.
erroneously called
Ludic,
it an opinion.
Ludic, let me finish. I was in the middle of a sentence. I will hear you out completely after I'm done.
You
So
didn't
this
last
random
time.
this random guy on the internet has some opinion on the moon landing that may very well be valid. Now, would it be valid for me to dismiss his opinion merely because he's just some random guy on the internet, like these other guys did with my GIF?
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on the nature of their claim and if the claim has anything to do with who they are or whatnot, or if if the claim involves expert opinion. In this case, it doesn't involve expert opinion. It simply involves showing the full sequence of video that Bart Sabrell in his documentary neglected to show.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I'm just pointing out, like I said, I think it's a complete fallacy. It's actually the genetic fallacy to dismiss things based on their sources.
No, but I did.
Yeah, you
You're
guys
the one
did.
who was calling it some random guy on the internet.
You guys just said, oh, this GIF that I posted was just made by some random Oleg dude who we have no idea, and that's clearly the genetic.
We didn't say that. We just wow.
Squishy
Not
did.
me. I granted you it was true and asked you why that was evidence that we didn't go to the moon, and you still haven't answered it.
Look, I made a probabilistic argument. What are you talking about? This is like the third time I'm going to repeat this argument. So look, the reason why is because I believe, given the background knowledge, that's more likely that because if these photos are fake, then it's more likely that we didn't go to the moon than having fake photos and going to the moon.
The Earth is flat and the moon is made of cheese.
Well, that was just bullshit.
Neither of those are
You can't back that up at all. He just says shit.
Anyone else find it crazy that people think we're on some spinning rocket ball in space?
Yeah, you fucking sphere cucks. Okay, but Jovan, don't you think that it would be more likely that if we did go to the moon, that we would that these images wouldn't be fake or have these anomalies in the way that they're anomalous?
What does that even? Why would I think it was more likely?
Well, so I think that there are specific visual anomalies in these photos that give credence to the idea that we didn't go to the moon.
Why?
Would you want to go into the specific visual anomalies?
The Ace, like, just because there's an anomaly in the photo, let's say that they are fake, right? Just because they faked it, I don't believe that means that that the moon landing itself was fake.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
many motivations as to why they would fake it. I know, he just constantly interrupts
Jovan,
people.
I agree.
Constantly.
He
Jovan,
doesn't let anybody finish
I can conceive of many
different
motivations.
I agree with you, Jovan.
He just keeps going.
He doesn't. You don't even know what you're agreeing with, Ace. He didn't finish his fucking sentence.
I can hear pretty clearly.
I had more to say other than the
wait to
motivations.
talk more than listen.
I'm just done talking to Ace. I had more to say other than the motivations.
Can you mute?
Yeah,
I want to hear it, Jovan, but this screeching.
Yeah,
you don't. What do you mean you want to hear it? You over
the screeching heartbeat.
It has nothing to do with Squishy, Ace.
So let's hear it, Jovan.
You over talked me before Squishy was talking.
Let's hear it, Jovan.
Jesus Christ. This is so stupid.
Jovan was in the middle of
I love how he tried to blame it on
to hear you
Squishy, as if
out?
him interrupting me was Squishy's fault.
Look, this screeching harpy is adding almost
I'm
nothing to
sorry.
this.
I'm so sorry, Jovan. I didn't mean to make Ace
So,
interrupt you.
I'm so
so
Jovan,
sorry.
Jovan, I'm pretty sure I would have heard you out already if Squishy would have stopped talking.
You're the one who interrupted.
You kept talking. You
Jovan,
kept talking
I'm
even
waiting
after
to
I
hear
tried
you.
to go 3 times, Ace. I tried to
Jovan,
repeat myself
get
3
to the point.
times, and you kept talking.
Jovan, go ahead. I'm waiting
It's
for
like
you
he
to
has
say
no
it.
memory.
I mean, to be
Jovan.
fair, Jovan, Squishy is adding pretty much 0 content.
Okay, I'm
Right,
sorry. I'll mute
but
myself.
he's trying to say he interrupted me, Tom, and he
Okay,
actually
Jovan, let's
wanted to hear
Why
me.
don't you just be
But he
quiet?
interrupted
Let
me.
him
All I-
finish. What's the big deal?
Stop bitching. You're bitching about meta. Let's
Because
hear
he,
it, Jovan.
Tom, he's doing what he's doubling down and lying.
Stop
Who cares?
bitching.
Just when they act like children, just let them have it. Give them rope.
Jovan,
Pause.
go
Count to 30 seconds. None of them will talk for more than a minute anyway, right?
Like, stop wasting time. Let's hear it,
Jovan,
Jovan.
say your thing and see if Ace interrupts you.
I'm just done. I'm done.
Ah, come on.
Jovan,
Anyway.
no, I really do. I do want to hear what you had to say, Jovan. What were we gonna
Shut
say?
up, Ace. You're retarded.
I'm waiting, Jovan. Let's hear
Anyway,
it.
unfortunately, Greater Sapien's video there, he had to edit out some of his audio explaining it because Bart Sibrel filed against him. Some of the music in it's from.
Oh, that's weird.
What a fucking asshole that guy is. Did you see when Buzz Aldrin punched him in the face?
Yeah, that's an epic clip. Yeah,
Oh,
and
great.
when Edgar Mitchell kicked him in the ass. I actually met Edgar Mitchell. He's a fucking weirdo. He's like the Jar Jar Binks of the astronauts. I've actually met him, Edgar Mitchell. He went to the college that I attended. He gave a speech on his fucking Institute of Noetic Sciences bullshit. Such a fucking scam. I actually believed in the moon landing at the time.
Oh, you're
and
skeptical of noetics too?
Wait,
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know Ace was not a fan of the moon landing. How does Ace account for the mirrors we have on the moon?
Fucking, you think we have reflectors on the moon?
Yuri, have you not been here the whole time?
Well, I didn't know Ace was this crazy. I know Ace did some crazy shit, but I didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah, but it's been going on for a while.
Jesus Christ.
Ace?
The only thing I know about is the aliens and the pyramid shit.
I don't fucking believe in the ancient aliens theory. Holy fuck.
Ace, why don't you believe that there's retroreflectors up there?
Phone disconnected.
Because he has bad reasons.
Do I understand that you can get a return signal no matter where you point at the moon? Yes, I do.
Yes.
But do you understand? But do you understand that rate of return is increased by magnitudes, like 1,000, 10,000 times when they point it in the direction of where the retro reflector is supposed to be located?
Yeah, dude, I've seen Big Bang
Right?
Theory, and they do it on that, man.
Yuri,
Yeah. What's up, Josh?
куда ты пошел, блядь? Иди сюда, иди ко мне.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, Ludic, I really appreciate all the stuff you dug up for me. You tend to have the best
Can you
stuff.
respond to what he said?
I said that's a claim.
Well, I got video of that too, where they're skewing the laser left and right, and the returns drop right off and then increase the magnitudes.
I'd be interested in seeing that as well.
Okay.
You're gonna say it's fake after you've seen it?
No, not necessarily. Plus, I mean, those retroreflectors could have easily been put there by a probe. You don't need humans to put stuff on the moon.
Then why would you deny so heartily that they're up there?
I'm just doubting it. Look, I'm saying if that's the case, then
doubting
like,
You're laughing at people when they say they think they're up there.
When did a
Yeah, I think it's dumb.
You think it's dumb, so you're not simply doubting it. Why do you contradict yourself constantly, Ace?
When did the
'Cause you
probe
don't-
put it there?
When did a drone put it? That is a great question, Joe. At what mission? Because he thought the Apollos didn't actually go there.
They did it like they did send men up there to put it, but they designed robots in 1969 to put reflectors on the moon.
Easily.
Well, I
Easily.
mean, you could give it to them because the Russians did so, right? But you know.
No, he doesn't think they did. He don't think they did loot it.
What do you mean? I never made that claim.
You think you think the Russians landed there?
I think
They
that's very
did.
likely.
They landed a probe called
They also put reflectors on the moon.
Yeah,
The thing is,
I'm just saying. Look, my only doubt is about humans
Just
going to the moon.
interrupted Joe.
Look, it's really easily that you could put probes
He's
on the
just
moon.
incapable of not
Like I said,
interrupting people.
I just have doubts about humans going to the moon during the Apollo missions.
Aces, there had to be people who made those probes.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anyone said anything?
I guess you don't understand how compartmentalization works.
They're not compartmentalized. Look, if you make a probe and you put it, hold on, shut up for a second. If you make a probe and you put it on a spaceship, you're gonna have to go and tell the people who are making the spaceship, because they have to like figure out how much fuel's going into it. They have to figure out like where they're gonna place.
Or how about the amount of fuel in the Saturn V rockets?
They all have to talk with each other.
How about the amount of fuel
on
the
the
Saturn V rockets?
This is why we use SI units, right? So we can all have this. We can all use.
Yeah, Joe.
If you're talking, you can't hear Joe.
No, I
Okay,
can't.
can you respond to
So
my
if you're
specific-
talking, you're not listening.
No, I can't. No, I can hear people while I'm talking.
Okay, so Aces.
So Joe, you think that there is enough fuel in the Saturn V rocket to reach the moon?
If you put a probe on a spaceship, and you don't tell the people, and you make them think that it's a bunch of guys, don't you think that that's gonna cost millions of dollars? People are gonna mess up making this spaceship. Don't you think they all need to coordinate to make this one
Why would it have to be
during
the same
in order
mission?
to go up to space? I'm sorry.
Why would it have to be during the same mission?
What are you talking about?
You're just assuming that the Saturn V rockets that launched off with humans supposedly in them were the ones that carried the probe.
What are you saying are the ones that carry the probe?
I'm just saying it's very possible that those reflectors, if they are on the moon, that they were put there by probes.
Okay, so the thing is, I made a counter to that. My counter to that is that you can't just say that they did probes instead of humans, because there's a lot of problems for other people who are part of.
I'm not making that claim, Joe.
Who are part of making the space.
Hold on, please.
Why are you interrupting?
Because you're strawmanning me.
Ace,
Okay,
it's
I
great
don't know.
that you can hear Joe.
Just clarify your claim, Ace. Clarify your claim, Ace.
Joe
So
is assuming
what you're saying.
Joe is assuming that the probe that put the reflectors on the moon, if they are there, was launched in the same rocket that supposedly ferried the astronauts to the moon. He's just making that assumption.
Well, wait a minute. They had other just probes that went up there secretly.
Yeah, there's a bunch of probes that were launched.
How do you launch a rocket secretively? I mean, everyone can see it for miles and miles and miles.
Ace, they launched a whole bunch of secret missions, missions to Mars, and landed a whole bunch of guys on Mars secretly. That's just as possible as what you just described.
I just don't know why you're doubting that there have been secret rocket launches. There's been plenty of them.
I just embraced that, Ace, by saying that they also put up a whole bunch of secret missions to the moon that had a whole bunch of people on it, and so a whole bunch of people secretly walked all over the moon.
A secret
Why do you believe that, Joe?
Oh,
he's using your logic.
Let
Don't
Joe
you understand?
Do you not
Holy
see
crap.
That's not my logic. He's assuming that's my logic.
Okay, can you explain to me why secret probe missions are more possible, logically, more possible compared to secret man-made missions?
More probable.
Or not man-made. What is it? Why am I spacing on them?
Joe, you're fucking retard.
Ace, can you respond or what?
Yeah, I actually had to fix your sentence because it's more probable.
Well, you said possible earlier, so I made it possible, dumbass.
Look, you're making a fucking comparison between two probabilities, retard.
Look, Aestus. Which is more? Look,
Fucking
Aestus. You said,
idiot.
"Oh, there were secret,
Down
there were
syndrome,
secret."
fucking drooling mouth breather,
He's-
fucking.
He's just
Hey,
memeing
what
now.
the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
He's
he's
just
What is up
spiraling.
now.
with this? Actually,
He's
The
memeing
memeing is
now.
what's wrong
the
with you,
memeing is
Aestus?
a evidence of spiraling.
He's gone kill screen. He's just gonna meme now.
We should have a new rule
No,
for
I'm
like.
still here. I'm just calling Joe names.
We should have a new
Fucking
rule
dumb.
for like how we determine who wins a debate. First to meme loses.
Aestus, are there other stupid views that you hold? Your Holocaust denial, ancient aliens, this. What else?
Yeah,
I've
I
been
agree.
sitting back on my win
You believe
for
in a
some
lot of
Trains
really
aren't mobile.
dumb. Yeah, I agree, Joe. You believe in a, I agree, Joe, that you believe in a lot of really dumb mainstream views.
Wait, I don't. That's not what I said. I said that you believe stupid views.
Yeah,
Or
you
you
believe
have
in
stupid
really
views.
dumb mainstream views, Joe.
He's
So, Aestus, I asked you. Those
No,
are the
you're
only
just
dumb views.
qualifying. You're just qualifying what I believe is dumb, and I'm just doing the same thing back to you. You fucking retard.
so.
So,
Maybe
Aestus,
all
I
the
asked you a
missing Jews
question. I asked you a question.
Yeah.
What's your
Maybe all the
response?
missing Jews are on the moon.
I
Yeah,
agree,
they have
Ludwig. That's very likely the case.
They have a kibbutz on the
What's your
moon.
response?
Yeah, they're fucking eating matzah there and
not listening.
Aestus, you got wrecked.
celebrating Hanukkah.
Why do you do this to yourself every night?
What do you mean? So, Joe, go ahead and blather some more idiocies to me.
Why don't you answer my question, dumbass?
Look, go ahead and repeat your fucking question, retard.
What are your other stupid views that you hold? Like the
Look,
Holocaust
I
denial,
don't,
like the
I don't
ancient
believe
aliens. Dude,
look,
I'm not
like I
done
said,
talking, so shut up.
Look, you believe a lot of
I'm not done
stupid
talking,
shit.
Aestus.
Look,
Aestus,
Are
I'm
you
not
incapable of
done
not interrupting?
talking.
Look, I'm answering your question, you fucking retard.
He wasn't
So,
done.
Joe, yeah, so Joe, do you believe that the Gulf? Look, Joe, do you believe that the Gulf of Tonkin incident was real? Do you even know what the Gulf of Tonkin incident is?
Yes, I do. It's an incident
do you
that
believe
occurred
that it
that
was
was
real?
used. Oh,
Yeah, I do. I'll argue that.
Hold on.
You believe it was
Joe,
real,
go.
Ludwig?
Yep.
You really
This
believe
is
what
a
you mean.
tangent to
Depends
get
on
away
what-
from his
Yeah, this
original.
is-
Yeah.
Let's not let
No,
him get away
I'm
from
just
that.
saying that there's a lot of really dumb mainstream views, like the Gulf of Tonkin incident not being a false flag.
So if that's a false flag, then the moon is made of cheese.
No, how would that follow?
Because there's been false flags and false information put out, so the moon is made of cheese.
How would that follow? I asked you how would that follow.
I just told you how it would follow.
No, you didn't. You just reasserted that it would follow.
That's exactly what you've been doing, Ace.
No, I haven't. I've been giving reason and explanation.
You haven't
you
though,
haven't.
Ace.
No, I've been calling a lot of people dumb without any reason, but I've actually been making my points.
Also
and
irrelevant.
arguing my points.
He's been calling people dumb.
So look,
without
so
any
Joe, like I
reason.
said, so there are a lot of mainstream views, like the mainstream view on the Gulf of Tonkin, that are false. The conspiracy view is true. It was a conspiracy. The Gulf of Tonkin was a conspiracy. It was
you're
a false
mixing
flag.
up concepts. There's a
It's a
there's
false
a concept
flag.
of a
Okay,
conspiracy.
so what's a false
Joe,
flag?
Joe was trying to talk.
As we know, false flags are when somebody attacks someone else whilst flying a false flag.
Yeah.
Are you saying that someone attacked like Americans attacked themselves in the Gulf of Tonkin?
Joe was
Seemingly,
trying to
yeah.
talk.
No, Ace. God, you're dumb.
They attacked themselves, or are you saying that there was no attack at all?
Either or.
Oh, either or.
Either or.
False flag can mean any old fucking thing now.
The moon is made of cheese.
So either way, look, the official story on the Gulf
That's a
of
false
Tonkin.
flag, Squishy.
The official
Oh my
story on the Gulf of Tonkin was a lie,
The moon
and
attacked
the
itself.
it was a conspiracy for us to get into a war with Vietnam.
I could grant you that it was used as an excuse or a rationale to
Yeah.
Look, here's the
ratchet
idea.
up the
Here's
conflict
the
there.
idea. The idea is that there are conspiracies that actually have evidence that support them, and it's actually the mainstream view is that it was distorted in order to drum up support for the Vietnam War.
Right. But
that's actually not.
But
that's not.
let me just say
fringe.
something. But
Okay,
the
so
thing
make
is,
sure-
let me just say something, Joe. But the thing is the North Vietnamese correction themselves said that they attacked the U.S. ship at the time. Do you understand that?
Fake.
No, I don't understand.
Did I do it
Yeah,
right?
they even know who they are. It was three brothers on these like Zodiac little runabout ships, littoral type ships with
Zodiac killers everywhere.
torpedo launchers on them.
Oh, Ludic, I'm reading about it. It says that the second incident was considered due.
That's right.
The first one.
Now you got it. Now you Squishy figured. Wow, Squishy figured that out pretty quick, huh? It was the second event that is called into question. That they.
Oh right. Yeah.
Not the first incident, which was a day beforehand.
I'm
There's
not
no
sure
question. The Vietnamese even said they opened fire on the Americans, guy.
I'm not sure that the first incident was much of an attack, if an attack at all.
I mean, how is any of this relevant to
There's
whether or
gun
not?
damage.
Yeah, how is any of this relevant, Ace, as to whether or not?
Wait a minute, but
your
Joe is
fake
making a
image,
point.
Jesus.
Hold up a minute, but Joe is making the point that it is mainstream that the event was distorted.
Right, because, and I think
why
the
are we
moon landing being
Right,
fake
I
will
agree.
eventually be mainstream.
Wait a minute, but that wasn't your original claim, you dumbass.
No. Look, it's not mainstream now. And
No,
like I
you
said,
literally said
certain conspiracies go mainstream, like the Gulf of Tonkin. That's why I brought up the Gulf of Tonkin, because it's nobody doubts that it was a false flag these days.
You
Although
gave it an example.
back then,
You gave it as an example.
mainstream view.
You
I was in the
gave
middle of
it
a
as
sentence,
an
Joe.
example.
I was in
You
the middle of
gave
a
it as-
sentence, Joe. So
okay,
back
this is
and he
gonna
knows
go
where you're
long.
going. So you
Squishy,
should
I was
stop.
in the middle of
Gave
the
it-
sentence.
I'm gonna have to
Squishy,
write down how.
back then,
Go ahead,
the
go ahead.
mainstream view. Thank you. Back then, the mainstream view was that it was actually an attack from the Vietnamese, and that the people that were claiming it was a false flag. Actually, I don't think there was anybody at the time claiming that it was a false flag. But that view was not mainstream. Now it has become a mainstream view.
Ace, can I quote you? Because I'm pretty sure you said, and I quote, that Joe, you believe dumbass mainstream views. I bet you believe the Gulf of Tonkin incident wasn't a false.
He has to
Because you gave this
qualify
as
what
an
he means by
example.
false flag.
Let
A
Joe
lot
talk.
of this,
No,
a
it
lot of
doesn't.
this goes
Oh my
back
God.
to an
Okay.
article that was written in
Let Joe go,
Crypto Magazine, which was that
Luke.
got out of the NSA, where one of the historians that worked for them researched it, and he didn't believe it happened at all, day one or day two.
Joe.
And that guy was
Joe.
wrong.
Can we let
Ludic,
Joe
you've interrupted
talk now?
Joe like 3 times now.
All right, so here's the thing. You said that this was a dumbass view, or that held by people for mainstream people. You still haven't told us what are your dumbass views that you hold. What are the other conspiracy theories that you hold?
I don't hold any dumbass views. I do hold a lot of conspiracy views, though.
What are the other ones?
Well, I don't have any dumb conspiracy views. Like the flat Earth is a dumb conspiracy.
I don't know. Chris is pretty convincing here in chat.
You didn't.
None.
He asked
My
you what
answer
are
is
your
none.
other conspiracy theories,
Oh,
not
okay,
what are your
so-
dumb ones. His second
Oh,
question
okay,
was literally what are your other your dumb ones. You answered that, and then you
depends
refused
on
to answer the second one.
the-
Don't interrupt me, Ace. I'm in the middle
It
of my
depends
fucking
on the
sentence.
intention of his
So he asked you
qualification.
what your second.
Well, Squishy, I
the second
heard you
question
already.
he-
You don't have to
the
repeat
second question-
yourself. Why
the
are you
second
repeating
question-
yourself?
The
I
second
heard you,
question he
Squishy.
asked you.
Thank you so much for
sake.
clarifying.
Oh my God, Ace, please, can you let me
so
finish?
much information.
I'd be done
Joe,
already.
Joe, I'd like to answer your question. Like I said, I do hold some other conspiratorial views. Yeah.
Okay, you didn't answer his
Like
question. He said,
what?
what are those?
It's pretty clear. I've been pretty open about them.
He
What
said, what are your
some
other
others
ones?
you haven't talked about?
Other
ones. How is any of my other views relevant to the
It's
discussion?
just a
about-
question, Ace.
Ace, this is to see if you can actually answer a question at this point.
I've been answering a lot of questions.
Okay,
Not
so
really.
what are your other conspiracy theories?
How is
Besides your Sphinx theory,
Can we
your moon
focus?
landing
Dodging
theory,
a lot of other
and
questions.
Look,
I forget the third
if I
one now
ask
at
you,
this
if,
point.
look,
Oh yeah, the
look, look,
Holocaust denial.
okay,
And can you not interrupt me,
Squishy.
Ace? Because I'm trying to find out for you. I really want to know.
Jesus Christ.
What
So
are
I've
the
got a
other
question for
You're just,
you.
Oh my
just
Squishy.
not
god.
going about this
Here's
very
a
well.
really relevant question, Squishy. What's 372
Jeez.
times 56? Tell me.
Ace,
Oh, you're
can
you're dodging the question,
can you-
Squishy. You're
So-
dodging the
You didn't even-
question of what's 357
He's
times
memeing
52.
again.
Keep dodging, Squishy. Keep dodging.
So
Ace.
Ace has said that he is incapable of not interrupting Squish.
Yeah.
Keep dodging the question, Squishy.
Can you answer Joe's question?
Why?
Why are you here,
So-
Ace?
I'm here because
Like I
want to.
was under the impression that you were just you were done with the moon landing. You were all over
No,
the
no.
place.
Look, there's plenty more
it
pieces
was,
of evidence.
I wasn't done talking. Ace.
Yeah, there's plenty more pieces of evidence.
Everything. I wasn't done talking. Everything.
I know.
was
I didn't have much
on
to
you.
say.
You had to add more and more auxiliary hypotheses in a
What
very
do you
ad
mean?
hoc fashion.
Okay,
It was a mess
claiming
for
that.
you.
That's a claim.
So I
Nice
was
claim.
trying to help you. I was trying to help you ace this and go.
No, you
Maybe
weren't.
there's
You're
another
fucking
view
retarded.
that
Relax,
you
man.
can start
yourself.
talking about instead.
Help yourself, Joe.
So I'll ask again. Is there another
Yeah, let's
conspiracy
hear it.
view?
Why
Yeah.
should I answer that?
I just explained why.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I explained why.
Nope.
Yes, I did. I said that I did this to help you because you were like
You're
just
help yourself. You're not helping me in the
Ace,
slightest.
Ace, if you
Ace,
spent
if
less
you-
time talking, you would hear what Joe was saying.
No, I heard Joe say that. That's
No,
not an
you
answer.
kept talking over me, you fucking
denied
idiot.
that I didn't explain.
Yeah,
why
I'm
I asked
denying that that's an
question.
answer. You saying that that it would help me is not an answer.
Yeah, it is. You would start talking about something else.
No,
instead
it's
of
a
just
response. It's a response. It's not an answer.
What are you talking? No, that was an explanation, dipshit.
No, retard. It's a response. It's not an answer.
What was wrong with my explanation?
Like if you ask me, look,
what was wrong
retard.
with my explanation?
I'm getting to that. So Joe, it's like saying like you asking me what's 2 + 2 and I say 57 or fucking car door, right? That's a response. You know, me saying poodle.
Also an answer.
Yeah, no, it's
Wait,
not. It's
hold
a
on,
response.
time out.
It's not an answer.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't just say car door. Ace this. Do you understand my explanation for why I asked? Do you understand the rationale behind me asking you for your other conspiratorial?
What was his
No, I think
policy,
there's
reasoning, and
zero
rationale
rationale.
for that conspiracy theory?
So like I said, could we focus back onto the moon, or are we just gonna go off into the weeds again?
well, the thing, like I said, you were just like floundering. It was a clown show.
Says you, fish.
The goddamn clown show. Ooh, look at this clown show.
Ace, you dragged everybody into the weeds. I'm still waiting for the answer to my question.
Like I said, it's an abductive argument. I've said this multiple times, JJ.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, look, you cannot accept it. That's your prerogative.
What does saying it's an abductive undermine? Actually, I don't get it.
I mean, don't you?
Yes, inference to the best explanation. I'm asking why I'm merely saying
that was rhetorical, you fucking retard.
I'm sorry?
That was rhetorical.
That was rhetorical?
Yeah, of course I know you know what an abductive argument is.
Okay, so I don't understand. Why is merely describing what abduction is?
I'm saying that given the assumption, because JJ granted that these pictures are fake, given that assumption, I would say that the best explanation is that we didn't go to the moon.
Then how come my argument for why the Earth is flat doesn't follow?
Because not everything. Look, I can release fake pictures.
about to
I
say
can
it.
release. I
yeah,
can
he
release real pictures. Okay.
Were you
So
about to
so it
say
doesn't
not
follow.
everything is fake that NASA releases?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, then how come those pictures can be fake, but the moon landing
You're
is then also
so slow. You're so slow. Look,
no?
I
You
said
just
I
proved
said an
your
hour, Squishy. I said an hour ago, Slowpoke, that I think that the Mercury and Gemini missions happened pretty much very closely to the official story. Okay, we got into low Earth orbit. Okay, put that through your little brain and process
That
it.
had nothing to do with what I was asking you, but apparently, since you like to
So
overtalk all questions that I
do you
ask,
think
you'll
so do you
never
think
actually hear that.
that the
I mean, you can
pictures
interrupt
do you
me
think
there
that
too.
yeah, I'm going to, yeah.
Do you
Ace,
think all the
you do need
So
to
do you
hold
stop
up?
interrupting people.
so do you
Seriously.
think all
Ace,
of that
do
was
you
fake
think
too?
that all the pictures from the moon are fake?
Yeah.
Do you think pictures from other nations of the moon are fake?
Not all of them. Some of them surely. But yeah, I think
Well,
that like I said, I think we've got into low Earth orbit, Mercury and Gemini. Pretty much the official story is correct. I just have doubts about Apollo.
yeah, but ham radio operators tracked Apollo.
That wouldn't be hard. You just put a radio with a recording in the fucking capsule and boom, done.
So, well, wait a minute. This is corroborated by the ground telescope people who tracked it that Squishy was mentioning all around the world.
Yeah,
They
I
sent up a
agree.
giant
Look,
machine, but they decided not to put people in it.
yeah. I mean,
Why?
that's what they do with probes, right? They just make a giant machine to put a probe on top.
Why
Yeah,
lie
but
we
those
about
watch
putting?
have a purpose.
we watch those people go into the shuttle, Ace.
Yeah, and it's very likely that they could have left as
Hey,
well.
can I address Ace for a second? I have an
Yeah.
alternate argument to run at him. I'm curious how he'll take it. So Ace, what
Make
if
sure
the
this
reason,
really derails the discussion.
what if the
Make it count.
reason that the Apollo missions that we see, like the pictures that you're showing us, are fake, isn't because they didn't happen, but because the nature of the mission was such that they didn't want us to know what they were actually doing, so they made a
Yeah.
fake mission to distract us. Because
That-
that's personally what I would think is the most logical explanation for your
Yeah.
viewpoint. Not
I
in general. I'm not saying that's my
Yeah,
view, but
yeah,
that's
I
where they
best argument.
that's where they hid all the missing Jews that they claimed were killed in the Holocaust.
I mean, you
true.
can,
No,
you can
so
act
Claire-
like it's a trivially stupid statement, Ludic, but if you actually knew the history of JPL and the other
Yeah, Parson.
like
and-
the origins
I know
of
a lot
NASA,
about it.
you could believe
Yeah,
that
I
they
know
would
a
have
lot.
weird motivations
I'd be
and
bold
weird
enough to
beliefs
say I know more than either
behind
of you
motivating
do
their actions.
about the history of NASA and the space
Yeah,
program.
You
Parsons
probably do,
connections with
but
Crowley.
have you taken interest in the occult relationship between
Oh,
like JPL, Crowley, and the
Ace,
first
do you
like
believe
10
that?
missions of NASA?
Ace, hold up a
He's
minute.
actually
Do
gonna
you
bring
believe
me
that?
to it.
Oh, are you
Yeah,
saying that Jack
Jack
Parsons
Parsons.
Shut up,
wasn't an
Claire.
occultist?
Ace, do you believe that?
Yeah, Jack Parsons was an occultist.
Do you think that the first the Apollo missions were occult based?
No. No,
That's
Jack
what Claire
Parsons.
believes.
Jack.
No, I
Look,
said
okay,
that'd be a best
let me-
explanation for Ace's worldview with
Yeah,
what he believes,
Claire.
which is,
Yeah, Claire.
you know,
I'm totally open to that possibility.
So you are open to the possibility that they were occult based.
you understand the difference between
No,
a
that's not what
possibility
Claire
and a belief? Squishy,
Look-
Jesus Christ.
Hold up a
No.
minute.
So Claire, yeah, I think that them wanting to hide something by faking it, yeah, I think I'm totally open to that view.
That's the only reason I could think to fake it. But
Yeah,
Honestly,
you were
I
doing a
think
different mission, not necessarily an occult mission, but just a different mission than what you wanted people to know you were doing, whatever mission that was. Maybe they're fucking seeding the atmosphere over Russia with depleted uranium. I don't fucking know what they were doing.
Building moon bases.
Sure, moon bases.
investigating
that's
aliens on the dark
much
side.
more rational, concrete objective than rock for a government that's the objective based and not information and learning based. I mean, I understand pure science is a thing, but you could always argue that it's less likely that that much money was spent on pure science than some more practical concern that they were admitting.
Honestly, I think that's more plausible than what the fuck Ace is trying to.
That's why I
Right.
offered it. It's like a slightly more plausible direction to take his worldview. That's all.
I actually think it's less plausible, but I'm not denying the possibility.
But Ace, it still grants that those pictures would be fake. Like everybody wins.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's much more likely that they didn't have some kind of secret ulterior motive or mission, and that rather they just wanted to create this story to, quote unquote, win the space race.
Isn't that a secret fucking ulterior motive?
No. In the sense that they put humans on the moon and faked it, and that ulterior motive, or seeded Russia with polonium or whatever.
Squishy, were you here when Ace was talking about how there could have been secret rocket launch?
Yeah,
Guess what I found?
Secret rocket launch.
I just found a secret recording done of they trademark planning the fake landing of the moon.
Wouldn't it be great to make everyone think we'd landed on the moon? That'd show the Soviets.
What would it show them?
Well, they'd think we'd landed on the moon and they'd be all afraid. Do this right and the Cold War could be over by 1971.
Why don't we just release the footage of the Mars landings?
No. It's vitally important that we keep the successful mission to Mars a secret. But I've got a hunch that if we pretend to have landed on the moon, that will be in some way intimidating.
Will people believe us?
Oh, I'm sure they will, to the extent that we won't even need to bother to pay much attention to detail with regard to flags and shadows and so on. Dart, you're the top spy in the Secret Service when it comes to misleading footage. What do you suggest?
Well, to start with, of course, we'll need to build a massive rocket.
Why? We're not actually going to the moon. Sorry, I thought that was the point. Have I got this wrong?
We'll need a massive rocket because the first question people will ask when we show them the footage of the moon will be, how did you get there? So we'll have to be able to say, we went in that massive rocket you saw.
So we're not actually going to make any kind of saving in terms of the cost of a massive rocket?
No, but we will be making a saving on the cost of actually going to the moon.
True. And what costs are involved in actually going to the moon?
Well, the main one, to be honest, is the massive rocket.
Any others?
Well, other than that, it's mainly catering.
So we'll make a saving on that?
Well, no. In fact, it'll probably be more expensive to cater for an entire film crew for the duration of a shoot than it would be to feed 3 astronauts.
So I'm just wondering, we'll still have to build the massive rocket capable of going to the moon?
We will have to do that, yes.
So I was just thinking, if we've built the moon rocket, might it not be cheaper to just pop to the moon and fake the footage there?
Fake the footage of the fake moon landing on the moon? What if people found out?
That's a risk we're just going to have to take.
I don't get it. They're all English. I thought NASA was like an American.
Yeah, it was from a British TV show.
Not British people that fucking went to the moon.
That was good.
Yeah, a bunch of faggots trying to steal.
See, that's why they had to fake it with the Americans, though, Ray, so the British people would get it unseen. Don't be stupid.
I mean, you're a fucking idiot.
Big Ben is a rocket.
I mean, you're just dumb if you think we didn't go to the moon.
The Houses of Parliament is...
I can't believe, I mean, people don't believe we went to the moon. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, we have so much evidence for it. It's just ridiculous.
I do believe it.
It's actually the most documented event in human history.
I know, it would be. Right? I mean, we fucking went to the moon.
Sure, we've been to the moon more often than we admit.
I posted a link to the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal, and they account for every bloody second.
Some goddamn weird Claire, U.S. Air Force patches for like research flights.
Yeah, Claire, I actually think that that's very likely, that we've probably had more probes on the moon than is admitted. I just don't think we've had humans on the moon.
I'm indifferent to which of the two that is.
How the hell do you launch a mission without people noticing? When they shoot the fucking rockets off, people notice.
I mean, how does the Air Force do it?
We know when they launched the missions.
No, are
It's
you
just-
telling me the Air Force doesn't
they-
have a bunch of experimental high altitude and low space flights that they don't
Yeah, they do.
like
They launched-
broadcast? Because they do. You can see the patches for them. There's hundreds. They're available for
Yeah. They got a system called Keyhole. It's their spy satellites, and they launch them. And when they go to launch them, we know about it, and people like Red's Rhetoric go and watch it. We just don't know what's on board the aircraft, the spacecraft. Sorry.
Oh wait, Ludic, you know who Red Rhetoric is?
So we know that it launched, right?
Yeah,
so
it's an
what
open
Ace
secret.
is saying is, it's an open secret. What Ace is saying to me doesn't follow, because in order to have these secret missions or to land retro reflectors or whatever, you would have to do it with a launch with a rocket. So when all the other ones have been accounted for, right, and we know what the type of rocket is and what it's capable of doing, there's no launches there's no avenues to do what he's saying.
Hey, Ludic, I have a question. Have you heard of the conspiracy from moon landing deniers that we supposedly have moon rock, right? But when we gave someone moon rock, we didn't really give them moon rock. We gave them
a piece of wood, fake wood.
Yeah, what's the
I
deal
know
with
all
that?
about that.
And that's
I know
actually
all about. I know all of them. No,
true.
it's not true. They didn't give him a piece of fucking petrified wood.
So,
that
yeah,
was some idiot in the museum who pulled out the wrong item. It was mislabeled in Holland.
Convenient.
Convenient? It happens all the time. Oh
they
my
tracked
god.
down and they tracked down and found it. They tracked down and found
Wait.
the piece.
Yeah, we're
of
just
people.
gonna mislabel some samples from like the
Jesus,
most
this
important
baggage.
mission in the world.
People making
It
mistakes
wasn't a
is
sample.
convenient.
It was a gift. It was a
over
gift.
the U.S. accident.
It
Can't
wasn't
the sample be a gift?
It wasn't meant to be
The
a
sample
scientific
be a-
sample.
Can't
What
the sample
happened
be a
is
gift?
when the astronauts went around the world after the Apollo missions ended, they brought little teeny rocks with them, like pebble size, and they gave them to foreign dignitaries. Okay.
Yeah, principle of parsimony.
Yeah, so you're telling me that NBC News is lying?
Yeah,
So
journalists.
you trust everything the media says, Ace? CNN
Well,
knows the truth.
it's like they do everything they can to believe a conspiracy, even though there's so much stuff against.
Well, I could say the same thing about you, that you're willing to believe so much stuff to make it seem like it's not a conspiracy.
The liberal media is fake news, except when it comports to my belief.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I draw from many sources. I'm quite eclectic that way.
Like this fucking conspiracy Allah site.
That's the genetic fallacy. Nice job.
Yeah, NBC News is lying to you,
Cited
Ace.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, try again, Sutek, with your genetic fallacy.
Okay, Ace. You do your thing.
They're
Can we
not
at least-
lying. The curator at the museum thought that because he made a mistake.
Dutch National Museum says that one of the prized possessions, a rock supposedly brought back from
Yeah,
the moon by U.S.
Email him
It
today and ask
just
him what
a
happened.
piece petrified wood.
Ludic already went over that.
Yeah, that's not a true statement.
So you're telling me NBC News is lying to me?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
Essentially,
part of
yeah.
the
Oh
liberal
wow,
media.
the mainstream media lies. What a fucking surprise.
No one denied that, Ace.
And you know, there's been quite a number of, like, someone who worked in the museum could have swapped it quite easily too.
Okay,
right?
look.
And this has happened because
Ludic,
these pieces
back
of
up your
lunar
claim.
rock
Back up your claim,
are
Ludic.
so valuable, right?
Back up your
There's
claim, Ludic.
rich assholes out in the world that'll pay $1
Ludic, I
million
backed up my
for a
claim.
pebble of it.
Look, my evidence is not some random YouTuber. I actually.
Is that the genetic fallacy, Ace?
Genetic fallacy.
That's the
No, I know.
genetic
Look,
fallacy.
I'm
Oh,
like,
snap.
Ace, that
Yuri, I'm
article you
committing-
posted doesn't
Yuri,
back you up.
Yeah,
Yuri,
I know. I was just about to mention
Yuri,
that at the bottom. It debunks
Yuri,
it right at the bottom of the article.
Yuri, I'm committing the genetic fallacy or comedic value.
Whatever.
I know it's the genetic fallacy.
That article
That link you
disproves
posted does not back up your claim.
How?
It fails to back up your claim.
How?
You just posted an article. You didn't provide
with
any
fucking
substance.
words, Ace. Maybe you should read the fucking article.
Look, I have it open. So the last sentence, Middendorf was a treasurer of the Republican National Committee. President Nixon dispatched something. How does that contradict what I said?
What's your claim?
Excellent. Thank you, Ludic. I've got a lot of catching up to do. Ludic, this is why I think you're one of the better people in this room. Is back up here.
Google shit
Oh,
for
can
you?
you stop with the meta?
No,
Oh, that's very nice
just
of him to
through
Google that
just
shit for you.
Just through the years, I've genuinely appreciated Ludic's ability to back up what he says with actual sources. It's quite rare, and Ludic is
Kindness in Googling
consistently-
shit for you.
You should try to copy off him, man.
Has consistently. What do you mean? I back up my claims. So Ludic has consistently been one of the most exemplary individuals when it comes to sourcing his claims.
Thanks, dude.
So is anybody gonna tell me why my article contradicts what I'm claiming? I mean, I know that the video Ludic posted is gonna contradict what I'm saying.
Well, the media.
No, but Ludic, I don't know.
Sorry, I was talking and I was muted.
Yeah.
Stupid. But the Western media are really bad at doing follow-up stories on these things, right? Because I mean, they're not going to waste part of a show to go, "Oh, sorry, by the way."
Yeah. I agree, Ludic. That may very well be the case. I'm open to that possibility very much so, but I'm just incredulous about the claim that my own article in the last sentence contradicts what I said. That was a very specific claim made by JJ and Yuri, and they haven't backed it up. Are you going to back it up, JJ and Yuri?
I don't even remember what your claim is.
No, your claim. Your claim that my own article contradicts myself because of the last sentence in the article.
I didn't say that.
Yuri said that. No, Yuri said, "Oh, I was just about to point that out."
Yeah, I thought JJ. I thought I saw what JJ was talking about. I thought I read it.
I didn't point to anything.
No,
Okay,
I know you didn't point to anything, but I thought what you were implying. I thought I read it, and it concluded with what you were saying. So I was about to point it out until I read it. Didn't really say what I thought it said.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for that, Yuri. I appreciate it.
No problem about it.
Your claim is that we didn't go to the moon, which means we don't have moon rocks.
What do you mean? We have moon rocks.
Then why are you bringing up this article for?
Look, there's seemingly, or not even seemingly, there is a news article that says that a moon rock seemed to have come back as being petrified wood. Now,
what?
Ludic's making the argument that NBC didn't do proper follow-up on this story, which may be the case.
Your claim is that we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah.
This article was all
So what does this article about petrified wood have to do with it?
Oh, no, because Yuri brought up the petrified wood thing, claiming that it was bullshit, when this is the main...
So you brought... I thought you brought that up.
No, I didn't. No, someone
No,
else.
yeah,
did.
I brought it up. But I didn't know it was the petrified wood. I thought it was the Grand Canyon or something like that. Heard a really different conspiracy theory. I didn't know they said it was petrified wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that back up your claim? That article is.
It doesn't. I was responding to what Yuri had brought up.
What?
We're trying to talk about you denying the moon landing.
Yeah, I know. And Yuri, you brought up a very specific claim, and I wanted to point out that there's more to it than you probably thought.
Right. But JJ's trying to go back to the original thing we were talking about.
Yeah, and I'm pointing out that I posted this as a response to Yuri, not as backing
Yeah,
up.
we got
my-
that already.
So what was the claim that you were posting that to back up?
They
then?
never handed out loose rocks like
Well, no,
that.
Jay-
to
no,
begin
Yuri-
with, right? They made a little display and it was encapsulated in resin.
Ludic, one sec. Ludic, one
right?
sec. Yuri, you may get it by now, but it doesn't seem like JJ is caught up.
What's the claim you made that you posted that to back up, Abe?
Exactly, Yuri. You see, JJ's still confused.
JJ, I made a claim that actually I was asking a question regarding the conspiracy with the petrified wood or the fake moon rocks. And then Ludic told me and explained to me how he knew all that. Then after Ludic talked about that, Ace brought up a article saying that the moon rock was fake by NBC or whatever.
Ace's claim was that there are fake moon rocks?
That's
There's
what
no
he
the
tried to
claim.
launch from.
Well, no, the claim is that there's this article from the mainstream media that claims it. Whether or not it's true or that they failed to do a proper follow through on their article, that's another.
What is the news article claiming?
That this
You can
rock
fucking
that-
read. Holy fuck!
All right,
Why
hold
the
on.
fuck do we need to fucking spoon feed you, JJ? Do you know how to
Just
read?
chill out,
English
no
words?
meta, man.
Hold on,
Waste
hold
time.
Why, I'm wondering why
Waste
the
time.
fuck
I'll
you brought
explain
this
it.
up, Ace.
I'll explain
no,
it.
no, please don't.
Okay.
Ace, why
No,
did you
fuck
post
you,
that
JJ.
article? To show,
fuck you.
in fact, I
Fuck
recall
you.
what you said was that
No.
NBC.
No.
Are you
JJ,
saying that
JJ, you're wasting
NBC
your
is
time.
lying to me?
You're wasting
What is
your time.
NBC lying to you about,
JJ,
Ace?
He mentioned
you're wasting your time.
it to try and build a case that there's fake lunar samples out there. That's why he shared it.
Well,
Isn't
no,
it,
this
Ace?
is something
Is that
Yuri.
it, Ace?
This is something that Yuri brought up.
Is that
This
it,
is-
Ace? You posted that to say that NBC was lying
JJ,
to
you're
you,
like on the. I'm like
and
on the
saying
verge
that,
of fucking.
and saying that a moon rock is a piece of petrified wood.
I'm not interested. You're wasting your time.
What's
I'm
the
not-
fucking lie, Ace?
You're wasting your time, JJ.
He brought back over 850 pounds of lunar samples, right?
Yeah,
That are absolutely impossible to fake.
How is
Yeah.
NBC lying to you, Ace?
And
You're
you can
wasting
tell the
time,
difference, Ace, between ones on the Earth and ones that are on the moon.
What I thought.
Because the ones on the moon are very distinct on their surface because they've been bombarded. They've been bombarded with micrometeorites, and also they haven't been weathered, obviously, and a bunch of other things.
Yeah,
and,
and they
and,
have.
and,
they
and
have
many
been
of the
protected in
samples,
atmosphere.
yeah, like
stuff like
300
that.
odd pounds of the samples have never been outside the vacuum. They brought them back in a vacuum container, right?
Why
And
are we
they-
talking about this?
And they've never hit the air. They've been in a vacuum the whole time.
Supposedly.
Maybe. Why are we talking about this?
JJ, why are you wasting your time?
Why are you wasting my time?
I try not to.
It seems like that's the majority of what you do.
Why do you think that?
Because you say things like NBC News is lying to me, and then you post an article like that as proof.
Wait, I made the claim that.
saying
Do you like-
NBC.
He did say it several times.
Yeah, he did say that.
He was saying it as some autistic reply to what we were saying. Because his article that he posted is saying that this rock that this Dutch museum got was a space rock, and then it was later determined to just be petrified wood. Now, what I'm reading on it, though, is that this piece of petrified wood was given to the Dutch Prime Minister to commemorate the visit to the Netherlands of the Apollo 11 astronauts, but was misidentified as a moon rock.
No, what it is somebody donated to the museum a piece of petrified wood, some guy on some farm in Holland. And somebody in the museum thought that it was the lunar fucking sample, and they made a little tag for it and stuck it to a piece of wood. And it looks like nothing like the samples they handed out. When they handed out the samples, the plaques and the little flag looked the same for every country, right? They made up a set of them for various countries that they knew they were going to tour later on, right? And it's just in that video it shows what it looks like. The little flag stand, the thing that holds the little flag, and the plaque with the samples. And the one in England looks the same, except for instead of the English, the Holland flag, it's got, yeah, there you go. Instead of that, they got one for England that looks the same.
We get it.
Except for it's got the British flag, right? You get it now?
Yeah, we get it. Okay, so what I find really sad is that we've spent almost an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours talking about this, and still the GIF that I posted has had no explanation.
Yeah, you haven't explained anything.
No. So the Parallax GIF.
Have you seen the GIF, Ludic?
What Parallax issue?
Yeah, here you go.
I'll post
Check
it.
this out.
Yeah, he'll post
No,
it.
I got it. It's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, see that, Ludic?
Yeah, that guy's name is
Those
Parallax.
it looks like those two photos are taken at different one's lateral of the other one.
Also,
One's been taken 2 feet lateral of the other one.
Yes,
Ludic,
yes.
if
You're exactly right, Ludic.
Ludic,
Now,
if you
what I
look
want
at
you
the
to
original
focus.
pictures,
Now, what I
hold on.
want. No, wait, Sutek.
Sutek was talking Ace first, and you were over talking.
Post the side by side for Ludic.
So just let Sutek finish. Ace.
Yeah, Sutek,
Jesus.
talk to his I'd shoot the shit with you guys in chat and never hear your real voice. Yeah, so shoot.
I'll post the pictures those are pulled from. Actually,
Right.
that'll explain it for you.
Could have fucking done that without saying it, without announcing it.
Well,
So-
someone reminded me. Ace, so shut the
now
Talk
let me-
about Parallax. Talk about Parallax, Ace. What do you think of the Parallax in the footage I shared of the guys in the rover?
Ludic. Okay. So what I want you to focus on in this picture, right, is one, the claim that mountain in the background is 20 kilometers away. Right, those hills back there, those are 20 kilometers away, and yet we're seeing this these mountains that are supposedly that far away shifting. The other thing that I want you to notice is that across the ground, actually right about at the middle of the picture, a little bit under the middle of the picture, you can see this very distinct line. Do you see that?
Yeah, and you see that in any that of like on Earth, you can see that, dude.
No.
Yeah.
No. Wait. No. So what I want you to notice though is the difference in parallax below the line and above the line. Okay. Do you see that?
You know, I'll tell you, if I produce information that shows otherwise, you'll just go okay, but and then move on to the next bullshit, right?
I don't even know what line you're talking about.
This was my first. No, Ludic. This is my first piece of evidence that I posted almost 2 hours ago that I've been trying to get people to focus on that everybody keeps avoiding.
Real quick, Ludic, did you see what I posted?
Ludic?
You see that, Ludic? That's where the image is derived from.
You're muted, Ludic.
Yeah, sorry. What about it?
So those two squares, you know what's encased in that? Those are the that are cropped up to make that GIF.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
So-
it's just a crop, and the crop is moved to the right.
And
Yeah,
one
exactly,
picture's
keeping
further
parallel.
away than the other.
Right.
Like further back, not left
Right.
or right.
And what he's talking about with the mountain moving, that can be just simply the camera tilting to the left or to the right ever so slightly, right?
No. Look, so
But it's not level, right?
Okay,
Ludic, couldn't
we
it be
can
lens
go back,
distortion
we
too?
can- Squishios. So we can.
Yeah, I posted an article.
It could possibly be lens distortion, but like I said, let's focus not on the mountain, but on the line separating the foreground from the background. Right? There's a discontinuity in the parallax that is across the entire ground. You see that, right?
Yeah, and you know what that line's caused by? It's caused by the resolution or lack thereof along that axis.
No,
as the imagery piles up behind it, dude.
Why are you guys taking it
like
for granted that
it's caused.
that
No,
those
Ludic,
those mountains are 20 miles away?
That's what I was going to ask too, Tom. Why does he keep claiming that they're 20 kilometers away when he has no evidence that they actually are that far?
If that's Mount Hadley,
it's in the fucking look, retard.
If that's Mount Hadley, and I believe it is. That's true.
It's in the fucking article, you fucking retard.
Yeah, but
Holy shit,
why do we
retard.
think
You
that that's
even
the
read
mountain?
the fucking article.
Hey, stop.
Let Tom
calm down, guys.
Yeah, why do we think that's Mount Hadley?
It's claimed to be Mount Hadley in the archives.
I'd like to see that.
Look, here, do you just want me to repost the article? I mean, it goes over all these details. It's just strange that. Well, no, it's not strange.
Can you just provide like a NASA source that has an arrow that says this is Mount Hadley, and then I'm perfectly satisfied.
Yeah, it's in the Aulis. It's in the Aulis article.
Where is that? Can someone repost that again, please?
Here, yeah, I'll repost it one sec.
So what else is NASA hiding from us?
My dick.
The alien bases on the moon? What? The Nazi UFOs?
The
Ancient
pyramids.
alien pyramid technology.
Exactly.
Pyramids on Mars.
And that's who made the Sphinx.
Oh, have you guys seen Spirit Science's explanation for the moon?
Oh, that's the worst. Spirit Science is fucking terrible.
I like that guy.
I don't like that guy.
Just to find some common ground, can we at least agree that whoever coded the Aulis website should be shot?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Also, space Jews.
He should be shot in the knee.
It's just an abortion of a website.
I just realized Ludic's fucking right? I mean, the whole spirit science thing with the space Jews and then NASA bringing the Jews to the moon. Like,
And the moon being made out of vibranium.
It's clearly adamantium.
Ace, this is what you're going off of, right? The skiff in the main chat.
Seth came in with ultimate fire.
Yeah.
Seth, you are the man. Seth working for truth.
well, that's a picture from the article itself. So yeah, as you can see the smokestacks in the background, which aren't even 20 kilometers away, don't move in the slightest.
How do you know they're not 20 kilometers away?
They're clearly not 20 kilometers away. They're quite
Clearly
close.
not 20 kilometers away.
Yeah, given what I know about the dimensions of large smokestacks from power
Because
plants.
you're an expert on
Hold
that.
on! Fuck her in the pussy!
I don't need to be an expert on smokestacks to know when something's not 20 miles away or 20 kilometers away.
Based on my knowledge of the dimensions of smokestacks.
He has very good eyes.
Ace, how far do you think those electrical towers are?
From the Parallax, maybe like 500 feet. At least the one on the left. The ones on the right are even further, probably.
It's because the towers look farther away yet they're
And the one on the right looks farther than the smokestacks.
They're not, clearly.
Oh my.
Those electrical towers are much smaller than the smokestacks.
Well, I'm convinced.
The moon landing was
This
fake.
seems like an ongoing thing with you, Ace. One of our first conversations we had when you were talking about the UFO sighting you had, I asked you how you knew an object was far away and moving fast, and you said you could just tell.
It just is because it is, guys. The new
You're
trend.
never going to be able to tell that kind of thing without some kind of reference. You're just, I think you're just overconfident in your ability to judge distance without a reference point.
No, I'm just skeptical of many things.
No, but you're not skeptical that you have an ability to know how far something is away from you
Why are
without
you
a
assuming
reference
that?
point. I don't know
He's
why
also
you
not
think,
skeptical
because
of
this is
this
an
person.
ongoing.
The astronaut said it really tripped them out, Seth. I mean, there is footage of them going up to a gigantic boulder. It's like the size of a house. And from a distance, when one of the astronauts is recalling it, he says, when I looked at it, it didn't look like it was that far. And then when he started running towards it and going towards it, it was like 4 or 5 times farther than he thought.
Yeah, because
that's
it's hard.
common. That's common on the moon because there's a lot
You
of
can't
features
scale
that
it.
you'd expect to be certain shapes at certain scales on Earth aren't the same way on the moon.
right.
If, for example, there's a famous photo of the Earth from what looks like astronauts standing on the lunar surface, but it's actually taken from the lunar module in orbit around the moon. Right? These kinds of things are really typical on the moon. When you look at the surface of the moon, you see features, you think they're a certain size because you're used to features on Earth, and they're a completely different scale.
Just
Okay,
if I
but
can
I'm
add
not
one
even-
thing.
I'm not even talking about that, right? We're just talking about the parallax.
Yeah, if I just may add one thing as well
So
to what Seth said. If
wait.
you-
Parallax doesn't work differently on the moon, Seth.
It works. It works based on distance, and you're judging distance purely by how far away you think something is based on its features.
No. So
Yes,
it's well known
nothing I
no,
said right there is controversial.
it's well known that those mountains were about 20 kilometers away, supposedly. Also, like I said, there is a discontinuity in the parallax of this image that makes it seem as if it's a stage floor going up to a backdrop.
Wait, real quick, what was that in that GIF? What's that? What are we saying? That mountain in the background?
Mount Hadley.
So I'm looking at the article right now.
I don't understand. If it was a staged backdrop, then why would the backdrop be moved at all? There's an obvious parallax within the background. If it's a painted backdrop, there'd be a clear line of distinction between the stage floor and the background. But there is no such
Uh,
Yeah, there is. There's a very distinct
I'm
line
looking
going
straight at
across
it.
the
There's
center
not.
of the image.
It's not distinct. The
It's
background
very,
is
very
parallaxed.
distinct. Look,
Yeah,
it's
I can't
even
see it
pointed out-
either.
Look, Ace, just hold on.
You guys are fucking retarded.
I don't know why you're getting so uptight about this, Ace. No one's calling you retarded. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. Why don't you just stop spurging out?
No.
and have a
Look, okay,
conversation?
I apologize. No, that was undeserved. I agree.
Look, Ace, I clearly see in what should be the background of that photo, right, where the mountains that move very slightly are moving, and if they're a painted backdrop, would not move at all. That's how a painted backdrop works.
It's not a painted backdrop. It's a back projection backdrop.
What?
What?
Do you know what back
It's a
projection is?
sophisticated.
So yeah, I've been around movie sets my whole entire life. I know what a backdrop is. How do you explain the parallax in the backdrop? There should be absolutely zero if it's
That's
a
not the
staged
case.
backdrop.
No, why do you think that there would be
Because
zero
that's
parallax?
how backdrops works.
That's not
Backdrops are an image, a static image.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so look here. Since you can't see the line across the stage, here it is made explicit.
You mean
Dude,
where?
you can see that in all kinds of images. I just typed in desert into Google image, and
I was
there's
just
all
about to-
kinds of images that look like that.
Let's see them.
Yeah, I went. I actually
just
from
type
personal.
desert in
Wait,
the
no, but remember,
Ace, I never got a chance to finish.
We're talking about the differential in parallax above
Jesus,
the line
Ace.
and below the line.
Real quick, so I reposted the image with the figure below it. I don't know if I'm getting this wrong or if that's not Mount Hadley in the background. And it's
4 to
saying
8.
it's
I
4 to
misremembered.
8, not 20 kilometers.
Yeah, sure. I misremembered. 4 to 8. That's fine.
You don't think that kind of adjusts what you're saying a bit?
A bit, not much.
20 kilometers versus 4 to 8.
Damn.
So look, 8 kilometers is what,
You
half
don't
the
think that's
distance,
gonna?
a little less than.
You don't think that's gonna affect the parallax a little bit, Ace?
Yeah,
Just
of course.
a little.
Just
Yeah,
a
of
little
course it
bit.
would.
Yeah.
But still, look, but it being, let's just say it's 4 kilometers. I'll be really gracious, right? Let's assume
Oh,
that
thank
that
you,
four,
Ace.
let's assume that that's 4 kilometers away, right? Would that be the parallax that you would expect from something 4 miles away, or
I
4
don't know,
kilometers
Ace.
away?
You're the parallax expert, apparently.
Well,
Mr.
clearly
Parallax,
not.
man.
Wait, Ace, would
Is
that be
is
something?
Sorry, John.
Would that be something you expect from a parallax 4 miles away, Ace? You tell us.
4 kilometers.
4 kilometers away.
Kilometers.
Is it?
No.
How do you
No.
know that?
Is that sand dune in the
again,
background there?
You can estimate distances from parallax.
Yeah, you do it right now. Show us how you did that.
Ludic,
It's in
are
the
you?
article.
Show the methodology behind it.
No, Ace, you show us how to do it right now. You said you know that is not correct. Show us how you did that.
Yeah, give us the
Yeah,
mathematics, man.
that's really not hard. The equations are actually in the article itself.
Did you actually run those equations yourself?
It wouldn't be very hard for me to do it myself.
You haven't done it. So you literally just took his word for everything.
So let me see.
Damn.
So LA equals LB times
No,
B.
Ace, it doesn't matter if you do it now.
The distance
Ace,
to the
listen to me,
object
bud.
B-
Listen to me, bud.
B-
Listen to
I'm-
me.
I'm
Stop
in the middle
interrupting,
of the
Ace.
sentence.
Listen to me,
I'm in
bud. Listen to
got
me,
you,
bud.
bro.
The fact is that you didn't do that previously. You're telling us that it's not correct, and you never ran those equations yourself. You literally just read an article of someone saying it's not correct and said, "Yes, I agree with that. Therefore, he's right."
No, that's not my argument. Nice try, Joanne.
Did you run the
So-
Did you run the equations yourself, Ace? Did you even really look at the equations?
The equations are trivial.
Did you
So
verify the distance of the mountain in the background?
So
Ace?
look, L sub A equals L sub B times B over A.
Yeah, math. Did you verify that the distance of the mountain in the background?
I misremembered it. Any other questions?
You misremembered it.
Yeah. Any other questions? I mean, I haven't spoken about this topic in probably over a year.
So, Ace, if we draw straight lines on those pictures that Ludic posted, are you going to say that they're fake as well and that those are backdrops?
Yeah, if you actually had images with where it was a GIF and it was showing that there was a discontinuity in the parallax, yeah, that would be evidence of fake.
No, we're talking about showing you the line of the effect of showing that it looks like a backdrop. We're showing Ludic's showing you that with the pictures right now.
Yeah, I see them.
that are just
not all. Not all of them have this kind of line. And again, there would.
It doesn't matter if all of them. It just matters if some of them do.
Jovan, I was in the middle of a sentence. So there would also be a continuity in the in the parallax. There's a discontinuity in the parallax in the GIF.
Can you address
and you're
what
saying,
Ludic's showing?
and you're saying the discontinuity exists above that demarcation line, that line, horizon line that sort of naturally forms, right? And because the mountain shifted ever so slightly, you're saying. Now that can be explained away by the camera simply tilting left or right. Do you get it? Do you know what I mean by tilting left and right? That it's not level, that it's ever so slightly tilted? Not panning. Not panning. We're looking forward on the z-axis and we're rotating it like a clock hand going around a clock.
Fine.
You get
Look,
it now?
okay, let's assume that, right? That doesn't explain the discontinuity in the parallax.
Yes, it does.
No.
If I tilted
it would explain the parallax in the mountain, right? So let's assume those mountains are 4 to 8 kilometers away, right? It would explain the apparent parallax.
It's actually miles, but
miles, sure, yeah, that's even worse then. But so that would explain the apparent parallax in the mountains, but it wouldn't explain the discontinuity in the parallaxes.
What particular what discontinuity? What?
Do you not see the GIF? Look, just scroll up a little bit.
and the
A line B.
That's right. And what is changed is the mountain, right? And I offered you an avenue. I offered an avenue to explain that away, and it's just simply
No.
the cameras rotate. Is
Oh my gosh. No. Look, so there would be, you could have a discontinuity in the apparent parallax if there's a valley between the foreground and the background. You understand that, right?
listen, the what's it called? I got to think of the terms.
Where's the discontinuity? Where are you seeing? What are you calling discontinuity?
I've posted here. Okay, let me
I've seen
post
it.
the
What
images.
part are you calling discontinuity?
Do you see the red line?
Yep.
So do you not think that there is a discontinuity in the parallax above the
He's
line and
asking,
below
what does
the
that
line?
mean?
You don't know what a discontinuity is?
What's discontinuous?
So here's the thing, right?
The parallax.
Oh fuck.
So there's a thing here, right? If that mountain is like 10 kilometers away and the ground is very even, you're not going to see you're not going to see a very continuous line of parallax, right? You're going to see the ground in the foreground, and then you're going to see a lot of the ground between the mountain and the foreground is going to be compressed, and then the parallax is going to look really distinct between the background and the foreground, which is exactly what I showed. Which is exactly. Ace, I'll mute you if you don't let me finish. It's not bullshit, Ace. Ace, it's exactly. Hold on, it's exactly what I showed in the smokestack photo. That's what you'd expect to see in a landscape parallax like that.
Wait. Let's look at the smokestack photo, right? Where's the discontinuity in parallax in the smokestack photo? So there's some discontinuities you could say between like the
Smokestacks
bushes.
don't move at all, so it's exactly from the foreground or like the base of the tower, the electrical tower, on the left, and the smokestack.
Okay, so look, I was trying to explain this to Ludic. You can create discontinuities with the valleys. You understand that, right?
Or just really flat ground, yeah.
No, not just really.
Yes, Ace, because of angular resolution. As stuff goes off in the distance, the resolution kind of compresses into that line where the film substrate or the CCD imager runs out as guff and it can't pick up enough.
Let me show you an example, Ace. Imagine
not in the way
imagine if,
not in the way that is in the picture right now.
Yes, and exactly
What are you
that
talking about? I just shared a whole whack of photos that show the exact same trait.
No, they don't.
A whole whack of them. Yeah, they do. They all show this line that you're describing.
They would have all of those pictures, if they were turned into GIFs, would have a continuous parallax. There would be no discontinuity in parallax.
Jesus.
If I tilted the camera, not tilt, but rotated it on the z-axis being the path or trajectory a bullet would take if I fired it in that direction. If I rotate it left and right like a hand on a clock moving through time or in reverse. Get it? Get it?
No. I do get it. I'm just telling you that the parallax that's observed in this GIF does
You can
not
see it's tilted. You can see it's caused by the camera
Ludic,
tilting.
I was in the middle. Ludic,
left or right.
I was in the middle of a sentence. So, Ludic, what you're explaining doesn't produce the kind of discontinuity that's seen in this image.
Post the fucking image again.
Okay. I'll post both.
You just keep saying it over and over again.
Well, I'm trying to explain it, but I keep getting interrupted.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
So now that that line, now that line's been pretty clearly shown with the in the second GIF, can you see that line in the first GIF now, Seth? Yeah, so that seems like that is a stage floor going up to a backdrop.
Yeah, so does all the pictures that Ludit posted.
No, it doesn't. Why
Yeah,
are
see
you
the line in all the pictures? They look like backdrops.
Yeah, the problem
No,
is,
they don't.
like, I don't know what's going on with the first one you posted, the one above that one, but the background also has parallax, which is a soundstage backdrop would have none.
That's not true. Holy crap.
Oh
Yeah, I don't. Have you been on a stage before? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Ace.
dude.
How would a backdrop
Came
have
from
parallax?
4
Hold
miles
on,
back.
hold on.
Sorry.
Ace, hold on. How would a backdrop, which is a static image, have parallax?
Okay, tomorrow, look, Seth, tomorrow I'm going to go take a series of pictures of some murals here in Orange County, and I'm going to show you that you can very easily produce parallax with a fucking mural. It's
I
not
mean,
hard.
Ace, you can see
you can make it different
parallaxing.
angled, but it wouldn't have parallax.
Yeah. Seth has really nailed it here. Look at the parallaxing in the crater on the side of the mountain, 3/4 the way up center. How do you explain that, Ace? If that's a static backdrop, exactly what fucking Seth just nailed you there. How do you explain the parallaxing we observe 3/4 up dead center in the crater on the side of that mountain?
The parallaxing of, so you're talking about the dark spot?
Both these gifs
You know
are doing
how it
different
appears to sort of rotate ever so slightly. I thought it was the camera doing it. It's not.
No, both these gifs are
You
doing
can
different things.
do
there,
that.
Case.
Look, that's so easy to replicate with a mural. What are you talking about?
I don't
Ace.
want to
Oh my
accuse
gosh,
anybody
I
of
just don't
anything,
get
but it's
how
almost
you
like
don't
the second
understand this.
GIF is edited.
Ace,
The
the
first
top.
GIF shows parallax in
Yeah,
the
look,
background,
and
the
the
second
other,
one shows none. It's
yeah,
almost
and
like
the
they're
other
edited.
Yeah,
thing,
it does look
the other
edited as
thing,
fuck.
look, so if you guys were a bit more clever,
Ace,
you
the
might
second
actually,
GIF.
if you guys were a bit more clever and actually read through the article, right? So the article actually even mentions that some of the apparent parallax may have to do with the post-processing that's done on these images.
Ace, what's up with the second GIF? Why isn't the background moving at all? Pretty much.
Like I said, like if you would have read the article talks about this, right? It has to do with,
but just tell him
some
because you read the article, so just tell him.
I'm gonna spoon feed it to you guys. It's so sad. This discussion would have been so much better if you guys actually read the article.
Just get with the spoon feeding.
Come on, just avoid the meta.
It's very likely that some of this parallax, some of this apparent parallax, could be due to the post-processing of the images, because they're doing transformations, right? I mean, if you actually read through the article, they're describing in detail the transformations that they did to
Well,
reach.
why
these
is the background moving in the top picture and not the first, not the second?
I told you.
Isn't the
just
second
told
just a closer image of the first?
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
But what?
It's not. Then what's the second?
But just read the article. Holy
Ace,
crap!
isn't the second image, second GIF, just a close-up image of the first GIF?
Why
No,
would? Are
it's
these
not.
both from that same article?
Yes, they are.
So why would that article post gifs that are showing two different things?
Read
'Cause
the
one
article. Read
It looks
the
like the same
article.
pictures. It's the same pictures.
It's
They use the same
confusing,
picture for
Ace.
both GIFs.
Well, they
They're
did,
both from
and
the
they
same pictures.
used slightly different transformations post
Why
processing.
would they do that?
To have different assumptions in their model and to test what these different assumptions in these transformations cause in the final product. Because they're skeptical themselves. They're saying, well, okay, maybe these transformations that we're doing to these images might cause artifacts in parallax. And they talk about this in detail in the article if you would only read it.
Well, I ain't reading no bullshit.
It's genetic fallacy.
To your own detriment, JJ.
Might be to.
I don't think so.
To his health.
But yeah, it's funny. I mean, you guys have been like asking me questions that this article goes over. It's funny.
The article from the Kooky website.
Hell, the
Yeah,
bottom one.
I've seen Clavis. It covers some of the bad, the mistaken claims. I agree. I actually think Clavis is a very, very good resource.
The sharpness in the bottom GIF between the two drastically changed.
Yep.
Ace, I was just fact checking it a bit, and it looks like the formula that they use for parallax is flawed.
In what way?
In the way that it's not the formula used for parallax.
How so?
Look up the formula for parallax, you dumb fuck. Just Google it. It's not hard to do.
I agree, but couldn't that just be some derivation that's more useful for the particular task they
What?
have?
No.
You don't think that there's multiple forms of formulas that can be used in different contexts? I mean, I'm gonna look this up, Squishy, and
Go ahead. No, I really want you to because I've been trying
I'm
really
I'm
hard
doing
to
that. I'm
find
doing
something
that right
that like
now.
confirms
Did you
what
ever
you're
look
talking
up
about.
any of the
Very
formulas
likely.
for parallax, or did you just
Very-
take him at his word for it that that actually was the formula?
No, I've actually calculated parallax and stuff like that before.
You said you
Yeah,
didn't.
stellar parallax, right?
Yes, yeah, when I was in high school, yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. So
No, it's
how
not.
is his parallax formula in any way similar to stellar parallax, which is
Yeah, one
what
sec.
we actually have formula?
Yeah,
Oh
give
yeah,
me
go
one
ahead.
sec.
Go ahead and Google that. What he's going to find, everybody, is that unless you have the actual precise angles of viewing, you cannot confirm terrestrial parallax.
Squishy, clearly this site just has a better formula.
Oh fuck.
This would be pretty devastating if it's true.
See, I was just looking it up, and it talks about how you actually need an inclinometer or clinometer to measure the angle at which you're looking at the mountain. And then from there, you have to take measurements from the two locations, clinometer measurements, and then the separation between the two measurements have to be extremely precise for you to actually measure the parallax of the object from the two different locations.
I actually have one of those, and I just pulled it out, and I dropped it on the fucking floor.
No, the poor thing. They're so sensitive.
Dropped what?
You have a clinometer? That's so cool.
Oh.
So basically, you need P to solve it, which is the angle observed.
Mm-hmm. It has to be really precise too.
So it really matters if something were either 20 kilometers away or just 4 to 8.
Oh yeah, it does.
Because it's also the D is the actual distance measured in parsecs. So
Yeah,
the
what I
distance
missed-
also factors in.
But there's ways
Yeah,
of there's ways of actually determining terrestrial parallax too, not
Yeah,
just
I think what I remembered was that the summit of Mount Hadley is 20
But that
kilometers away.
doesn't matter. You can have an estimation, Ace. That's not exactly what you need.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think what I remembered was that the summit of Mount Hadley was 20 kilometers away. The base was probably 8.
Did you find what you're looking for?
One sec.
Okay, go back to Googling.
Yeah. I like to do this in depth.
Mm-hmm. This is very in depth. That you didn't even know that his equation was bullshit.
How do you know it's bullshit? Could you demonstrate that?
Yeah, that I can easily demonstrate to you that the way to find the parallax of a terrestrial object is you need the angle of viewing.
Right, but that's not demonstrating that the equation he's using is bullshit.
He's not in any way taking into account the angle of the view.
Could you demonstrate that?
Where in the equation does he take into account the angle of the view, Ace?
So the specific Hasselblad cameras that were used have known photography properties.
I don't care about the photography
Graphic.
properties. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
you
the
do.
actual angle of the view.
Right, the photographic properties of the Hasselblad cameras, in particular their lenses, are well understood.
That has nothing to do with what I just said, Ace.
But it's funny that he said it.
So yeah, the only time this article mentions anything about angles is when it says that talks about the shifting of the camera angle, but it doesn't mention the exact angles. It doesn't talk about. It doesn't even try to put the angle of the camera perspective into the equation.
Yeah, none of that refutes the fact that there's a discontinuity in the parallax.
You didn't even calculate the parallax.
Could you refute that there's a discontinuity in the parallax?
I don't see
Ace,
any
that's the claim.
parallax.
Ace, if they're using a faulty formula.
There's a clear discontinuity in the
Where?
parallax. It's pointed out in the article.
Where?
Yeah, but Ace, if the article is using
the red
faulty
line, JJ.
formulas to determine the parallax, then how can we trust that?
How is it? Wait. Could you explain how it's faulty?
I just explained it.
Ace, do you just tune out every time somebody talks?
No. So okay, the formula is L sub A
That's
equals what?
a non-useful formula.
That's the formula from your site.
Yeah. So how is that faulty?
It doesn't include angle of viewing. Ace, do you know how parallax is actually determined? Of a terrestrial object, not a stellar object.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Can you explain that to me?
One sec.
Let me just
Okay, you gotta go
the
Google it
old
real fast,
Wikipedia
right?
here.
Yeah. I'm
in the middle. I'm in the middle of reading this stuff, right?
He's got to Google it real fast.
Ace, the
No,
LA.
I'm not googling it. I'm just reading through this.
Just
Quite a lot
just to let you
go.
know, Ace, the one that you're talking about, the LA equals LB, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, L sub A.
Yeah, that's not calculating for parallax. That's trying to figure out the distance.
Yeah, the distance from the parallax. Yeah.
That's not calculating the parallax.
I'm not saying that it is. That's calculating the distance from the parallax, right? L sub A is L sub B is the distance to object B. B is the offset of the object B, and A is the offset of the object A. And so the distance to object A is the distance to object B times B over A.
So how did you calculate that the parallax was off?
Well, look, the whole point is that that's a way to derive the distance of objects from the parallax. So I'm still not seeing how this equation is bullshit.
Look, from what correct me if I'm wrong, Ace. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. From what you would say about discontinued, it would mean that the first image parallax is not correct to the movement in the second image. That if you were to correctly calculate each parallax, that they would be off. Your calculation would be wrong.
No, I'm not making that claim.
So what is that?
Reading the figures.
What I'm saying is
GIFs is kind of funny.
What I'm saying is that there's a discontinuity in the parallax. It's an
right, as in
discontinuity.
like the gift
How do you
that
know
Ace.
how do you know there's discontinuity in the parallax?
It's apparent.
So you just see it.
How else would I perceive it?
It's special revelation.
No,
So
how
by
else?
discontinuity in the parallax, what you're saying is
Jovan,
it's in a different
how?
position, is what you're saying then.
No, Jovan, how else would I perceive it other
I'm
than
asking
through
you by discontinuity. You're just saying it's in a different
I was in the
position in
middle
the
of
photograph.
I was in the middle of a sentence. How else would I perceive it other than through my ocular system?
I'm asking you questions to clarify, Ace. If you don't want me to understand, then
Yeah, okay,
fine.
no, go ahead. I just wanted to have my piece. I
By
had my piece. Go ahead.
discontinuation, are you saying that it's in a different position?
Discontinuity.
Discontinuity. Is it
No, I'm
simply just
saying
in a position in the other photo that it's not supposed to be in?
no. It's just that the amount of parallax changes on a line, on this line.
And you're saying that the amount it changing is too much?
Let me ask you a question: have you been to the Bonneville Salt Flats?
No, I've been to the salt flats at Death Valley though.
Okay, well, I've been to the Bonneville Salt Flats, and there are mountains in the background. And I mean, I can't help but imagine, I don't have the pictures to prove it, that if I took a camera, if I took a picture of the mountains, and I moved the camera 20 feet to my right, and I took a picture of the same mountains from a different angle, I would see parallax. And the way I would see parallax is I would see the foreground up into the horizon, I would see a certain amount of parallax, and then right at the horizon, the parallax would stop, and I would see mountains which wouldn't be that wouldn't shift,
Yep.
right? Which is what I see in the moon.
No,
photos.
that's not what you see in this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a
you may
discontinuity.
be
No, hold on. But hold on, real quick. Is that not a discontinuity in the parallax? Is that not foreground parallax with?
no.
Hold
No.
on. Is that not foreground parallax with less background parallax? Is that not a stark line?
That would not be a discontinuity because it's a discontinuity in the foreground parallax. Because that line is still in the foreground.
No, but that's exactly what. Look,
mountain.
would there be a stark difference? Would there be a stark line from where the foreground is and where the background is in parallax in that scenario? Would there or would there not be?
No, there would not be any discontinuity in the foreground parallax.
Did I say discontinuity? I said stark difference between foreground and background.
What do you mean by stark difference?
I mean, around the horizon line or slightly below it, there would be a lot of foreground parallax and not any background parallax. There would be a stark difference, a line of difference.
No.
Yes.
No, it's just that the parallax drops off. It becomes less and less. Because technically, it would be imperceivable, but there would be parallax of the mountains all the way in the background. I mean, you probably couldn't catch it on your digital camera because the resolution was probably not high enough. But the whole idea is that parallax linearly decreases with distance.
Why wouldn't that be true with the lunar images if their resolution was so?
No, I'm just pointing out that
I know you're just pointing out. Can you answer my question?
There is a continuous linear decrease with distance of the parallax.
But you just use resolution as an excuse why that wouldn't have happened. Why couldn't that also be true of the lunar?
No, that's not. You misheard what I said. So the reason why you can't perceive the parallax of distances of objects far in the distance is because of the resolution. I'm not saying that the resolution would cause a discontinuity in the parallax.
I don't see a discontinuity.
You don't see a discontinuity in the parallax of that GIF?
No.
You're fucking blind. You're either blind or a fool.
I wasn't here earlier. What is the proposition, Ace?
Ace doesn't believe any of the Apollo moon landings are.
And he's arguing that this GIF is more expected if they were faked than if they are real. Is that right?
That's kind of putting the cart before the horse. I think here, I'll post it again. I think that this GIF is pretty good evidence that this was shot in a stage where you have the stage floor reaching the backdrop in the background, and there's a discontinuity in the parallax.
Ace, you know what, Ace, I
There's very-
completely agree with you, Ace. I don't think we actually went there because I mean, I'll post a GIF now that explains we never went to the moon.
Is there a video of this GIF?
Oh, look at that.
Holy
Nice one,
fuck.
bud.
Oh, shit.
Dun,
See,
dun,
there's discontinuity there. Okay,
Oh
Yeah.
shit, Barn.
pretty clear discontinuity.
I don't see any in yours.
Well, like I said, if you don't, you're either blind or a fool.
Ace, those are two different images superimposed next to each other in quick fashion.
Is there a video of this GIF?
So Cam,
It's
Cam,
only
you-
images put together.
So Cam, I know Cam, I know you understand how parallax works, that it drops off linearly with distance, but it seems that there is this discontinuity where there's this line where it seems, like I said, the stage floor hits the backdrop in the background.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I see what what you're meaning, but are you saying that those mountains are like a backdrop? Is that the idea?
Yeah, here's an image that actually makes it explicit where the line is. So you can compare the line drawn in this second image and compare it to the first image, the first GIF that I posted.
Have we looked into how far away these
Yeah,
mountains are?
they're 4 to 8 kilometers. The base is 4 to 8 kilometers away. The peak is about 20 kilometers, or is it miles? Something like that.
Why does when I was editing this, I'll admit it. Why does the ground look different? Really different.
It's distance and divots, and then from there it kind of raises.
What do
up
you mean
into
the
a
ground
slow
looks really
slope.
different? You mean the ground in near the center of the image looks like more blurry or whatever?
Oh, it just looks like people.
For
have
the
been
same
walking.
reason, the railway ties become harder and harder to discern each of them in the image that I posted.
Well, what Barnes is talking about is this. It's just more shadowing. Barnes, just the angle. So if you check, there's no additional footsteps. There's no additional markings on the
Yeah,
ground. It's
those
just the
pictures
angle.
were taken pretty close one.
Like,
after
look at
another.
the thing how it moves over to the left, like the farthest left footstep. It moves over to the left, and you can still see how there's no additional footsteps. It's just the shading.
You were saying, Cam?
So you consider this particular discontinuity, as you put it, to be evidence of a faked moon landing or evidence against us having gone to the moon?
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I think it's.
So,
I think it's
I
evident.
had a follow-up question. I was just summarizing, but my next question is there any data that you think argues in the opposite direction?
Oh, plenty. Yeah.
And so, is your belief based on thinking that the evidence that argues in the fake direction is like there's more of it than the evidence that argues in the real direction?
You're exactly right.
So, how many other sort of instances of data that you consider evidence like this are there?
There's quite a few, and I think that there's also some very poor arguments on the side of the moon hoaxers. So we went over this a little earlier. One really good example is the shadows of some of the moon rocks. How they claim to be evidence of multiple light sources, but like the MythBusters made a really excellent episode where they replicated the image where they showed that a single light source could make it seem like there was different angles to the shadows on the rocks.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. If that were a backdrop, it would stay the same, right? But in the pictures that are changed, one of them even is quite clearly on the bottom. is
I already
bright.
tackled this.
You already did?
No, actually, you seem to be going into more detail, the crater in the background, but I was pointing out that I've been on a lot of studio backdrops, and backdrops don't have parallax because they're a static image.
No,
This,
I'm just saying that like it's clearly brighter in the bottom part when you compare them, right? And portions of this little ditch in the background are more visible due to brightness. And if this was just a static image, it's not going to reveal details that are covered in shadow.
What do you mean? Having a slightly different exposure would do exactly that.
No.
Yes, I've taken thousands and thousands of photos in my life. I consider becoming a professional photographer at one point.
Oh boy.
You think that the conditions of exposure are dramatically different in between these two pictures?
No, but slight variations of exposure are expected because the paste on the film is not exactly even. The mechanical opening and closing of the shutter is not exactly even.
They could have been taken an hour apart, and the sun's higher in the sky or whatever, right?
Yeah, they weren't though. I mean, these were continuous photos. These photos were taken within seconds of each other. So that.
Are you sure of that? How do you know that?
I'm pretty certain from what I read in the article. I think that they mention that.
What are you guys talking about?
Moon
Ace
landing?
is convinced that the moon landings, or at least maybe some of the moon landings, are
All of the Apollo missions.
Yeah,
All of the
convinced
Apollo
is a bit
missions
strong.
says are fake.
Convinced is a bit strong. I'm just skeptical that actual humans went to.
Oh, that's definitely false.
I mean,
the famous ISIS backdrop.
You can see more. I mean, there's not. You can see more of the detail in the rock due to the lighting conditions changing.
Can we mute Anime Dasher? He's making a lot of noise. That
Yeah,
really
just-
hurt my ear.
I mean, just go ahead and do it next time. I mean, just mute him. And
I know, I don't
so,
have mods.
Ace, you mentioned earlier that you thought that there was some evidence that pointed in the other direction. What do you think is the best example?
I mean, some of them were brought up actually. So I think that the argument about the Russians blowing the whistle is probably a good argument for that. I think that that's probably one of the good ones. I think that the money spent is probably another good one, right? So where why spend all this money building all these rockets when you could just actually launch these people to the moon. But like I said, I think that they have responses that I think are pretty strong as well.
Something really cool that I saw a little while back is NASA released the assembly code that was written to control the control module, whatever it's called, on GitHub. And I was having a read through quite a bit of the source code, and it's pretty gnarly, but it's also really, really interesting. And that type of thing would really surprise me to have been developed when it was, if they were just gonna fake it in a studio.
I agree. The thing is that I think that the Gemini, Mercury missions, that the official story is true. I think that humans achieved low Earth orbit, et cetera, et cetera. My only doubts are about the Apollo missions themselves. That we actually sent very vulnerable, squishy meat bags in a little tin can all the way to our closest neighbor through all these dangers.
Okay, Ace, why would it be any different sitting in low Earth orbit versus sitting in the same spacecraft halfway to the moon or in orbit around the moon?
Significantly different. The fuel requirements are different. The danger profile is different. It's like night and day.
But when you say little thin tin can, I'm thinking that you're concerned about the structure of the spacecraft and how robust it is. And I'm just wondering how that could make any fucking difference despite where you are
Yeah,
in space.
I was being a bit hyperbolic in my language, but I was just
I
trying
think he was using that for a rhetorical effect.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
what's
so
the
like I said,
significance
I think that the
What's
Mercury
the
and Gemini
significance?
missions, I think that the Mercury and Gemini missions were successful. That we put men into low Earth orbit. I just have doubts about Apollo. I think that there's enough evidence to conclude that the Apollo missions were fake.
What about Apollo 10?
What about
Where
it?
they went to the moon, but they didn't land. They just circled it and came back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have a strong opinion on Apollo 10.
What? I feel like you made a very strong claim saying that all Apollo missions were fake. And we made you repeat that claim
The
several
six
times.
the six major ones, yeah.
Is that what he said in the beginning, guys?
The six major landings.
No, he said all Apollo missions in the beginning.
What I meant was the six major landings.
Yeah, walk that back, Ace. Thank you.